following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when 3 top-producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
When it's your hard-earned money on the line that you are investing into a home, it makes sense to choose a proven professional to assist you in making one of the biggest investments you may ever make. Josh's dedication of over 20 years to the home construction industry allows him to bring knowledge and experience to your doorstep. That means you can feel confident and comfortable with his service to you. Past clients love his attention to detail and thorough written reports. By allowing Priceless Inspections to help you make a well-informed decision concerning your property, you will find that a quality inspection is priceless. Follow Priceless Inspections on Facebook or call 315-525-8725.
Hi, this is attorney Nick Pasalacqua. The team of attorneys I have assembled at Pasalacqua & Associates has been carefully hand-picked to include the best trial attorneys in the particular areas of the law that we practice. Have you been charged with DWI or any other crime? Members of our team include former assistant district attorneys, now fighting to protect your rights 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you or someone you love been seriously injured in a motor vehicle accident? Members of the team at Pasalacqua & Associates include former insurance defense attorneys, now fighting to ensure that you get every penny you're entitled to. If you need legal help quick, don't waste your time or money calling anyone else. Remember, for legal help quick, you better call Nick and the team at Pasalacqua & Associates. 315-500-NICK or 315-500-6425 or visit cnytriallaw.com today.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to EC Radio. This is Chikn trying to take over for Z, hoping I'm not screwing up. Oh, thanks, Todd. He just hit the camera button. I forget again. I forget it every single time.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Todd.
Joining me today is Todd. You got the names wrong. You got me as Z and Adeline and Van Dyke as Chikn.
I wore my chicken costume, though.
Oh, okay.
I did wear my chicken costume.
I never looked that good.
Black tank top,
but
UC hat.
I like that hat.
Thank you.
I really do. Adeline, of course, from Home Free with Adeline Van Dyke.
Hello, everybody.
Every Monday at 7 o'clock. You're killing it, man. You're really doing well with that.
We're having fun.
Some good information. It's fun, too.
It is. I love it. I love it.
And also joining us is area drummer. I asked him what band. He goes, well, just say local drummer because, okay, Todd.
Pat's been in a lot of bands.
Todd's taking over the camera. So it's Pat Orlowski joined us from Toast and several other bands.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to name a few. Or no.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
That's going to be a whole conversation.
We'll get to that. Toast is the priority of the day or my life at this present moment.
Which, to familiarize people with Toast, our own Todd Williams is front man.
Original front man of Toast, back in the early 90s.
Talked him into it again.
You know, Todd's like, I got extra time. Why not?
Yeah. With everything we have him doing here.
Yeah, Todd was like myself. You know, we were both in retirement. When I played June 1st at Lucan's, It'll be a year that I haven't played live, and that's probably the longest time I've not done it. But Todd himself, he's took a little hiatus himself, and we were both when the opportunity came to us, we were hemming and hawing about it, and but then when we started having our meetings and talking with Steve and his brother, and we just we knew the seriousness was there, and then of course when we rehearsed for the first time, we knew that it had a lot of potential to be something really good, and it could be better than it ever was, even back when Toast was around back in the.
Well, you were young
90s.
then. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah, but I mean, still,
You don't have those outside distractions. You do with the family life, but you're not like chasing chicks, getting
yeah, you're not
hammered
20
every
years
night.
old anymore.
Listen, I'm still chasing chicks.
You guys were like in your 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't far from high school when you. I mean, shit. Weren't you still wearing a duster?
Yeah, it was definitely and it was after a project that I was in called SIV that was really successful at that time for like 3 years.
Big Way Ray.
Oh, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
that.
I used to see him I watched like 4 Super Bowls with that guy.
Oh wow. Yeah, he's a big Colts fan. But anyway, yeah. So it was after the SIV. I was in that band for 3 years, and it got to the point where I was finally trying to find myself musically, and in that band, it's pretty much about the show, and the theatrics. And at that time, I wanted to be pretty much known for my musician side, and people, you have to dress up in that band, and you have to wear makeup, and I'd be out at a club or out someplace in public, and I'd be in a conversation, and they're like, yeah, so what band you play in? SIV? You ain't an SIV. And I'm like, yeah, I am. But it's like, so anyway, so after a long, 3 years, and a lot of experience, was like the first band I ever got paid to play in, and it was, and to actually have a big audience and a following, it was, I ended up leaving, and that's when I met Todd. Well, I've always known Todd because I've known his whole family, but played with his brother Trevor in an original band way back in the day called Eben Rook. Anyways, it's plug to you, Dave.
When did you start playing? Because you were playing in high school. I remember that.
Yeah, maybe 16, and we were a friend of mine. I didn't even have drums, I didn't have a lot of money growing up, so I didn't have drums, and a friend of mine wanted to start a band, and I was like, well, I got to find drums. I didn't even play. I never even took a lesson in my life.
So what made you choose the drums then?
Oh, I always wanted to play. Wanted to play drums. I was that guy. I can remember having like cardboard boxes on my
Drumming
porch
on
and
stuff.
Yeah, I had sticks forever, but no drums. It was just one of those things I always wanted to do, and so I kind of learned through the actual having the instrument and learning songs and playing with other musicians. Obviously not that great, but as time went on and the more I did it, I got better at it. And it wasn't until your peers and other people started saying, well, I like what you do, that you knew that you were doing things right or doing it in the right direction anyways. So yeah, it was about 16, and it was just me and a friend of mine. His dad helped me buy the drum set. I had to pay him back, and I just learned through those guys, and then I kept evolving from there. I went from one basement to another basement to another basement to some, and in high school it was always fun because you get to meet a lot of people, musicians, through that way, and so it went from just playing with a lot of different people in high school to paying for room rent, for practice room rent, stuff there's all little stages that a lot of people don't realize that bands have to do before they
they're
get to
ever
the stage or do anything. There's so much work that goes along, and it's only the serious, really hardworking people that survive this business, and I've been doing it a real long time, and I've been fortunate to play with a lot of great professional, seasoned players, and
well, you went from cardboard boxes to touring with Boston.
Yeah.
So I would say that's
That's okay.
That's a little bit of an accomplishment there. You're impressive.
Yeah, well, and even that opportunity, I still had to try out for it, but it's who you know, and I happened to it when Anthony, that was in Boston, he needed some photo work done. He hired me to do some photo work for the Boston website, and when I was done with the work and stuff, I gave him my CD of a band, Rattlebasket, I was in at the time, and I said, here's me playing drums. If you ever need a musician, or looking for a musician, I play drums too. And it was like maybe so that was 2 tours he did with Boston on the Corporate America album, and then after that they decided they wanted to go out and do their own solo thing, and that's when I got the call. And I filled out, I did the audition and got the job, and like I tell a lot of people, I've worked 40-hour jobs my whole entire life, and I never could really afford a really nice vacation. And when I joined that band, I was touring all over the place, staying in the most nicest hotels, waterfront, oceans, Key West, St. Croix, Vegas, and get paid for it.
Yeah. For a kid from the ghettos of Utica, that's quite an adventure.
Were you employed at the time? And did you have to quit your job?
Yeah, well, what happened is at the time I was working for the Saturn company. Hi, everyone. And all great people. And when the opportunity came, I knew that in a month I would be playing in California. That would be my first day. And so, of course, I had vacation time, so it didn't really have an effect at that time. But then when the dates started coming in and they were during the week, and it started, and then I'm using personal time, and then it's like, so finally my company was very supportive, and they said, Pat, listen, we're just going to lay you off because obviously this is a great opportunity for you, and and we need somebody here to obviously, because so they laid me off, and I went and did and it was great. And I probably did it for a year, and then I happened, believe it or not, I got my job back. But then shortly thereafter, GM screwed up and Saturn went out of business.
But you did a good job over there. I remembered when you worked there.
Yeah, great company, really customer service related.
I wasn't sure if you did a leave of absence or something to that effect.
It was just one of those kind of positions where any other job probably would have just fired me, but they were supportive, because they knew me personally and they knew I played, and they knew it was a great opportunity. And of course, when they start seeing the pictures and stuff of the places I'm going to, really
got to understand.
Yeah, something like that is.
And
incredible.
plus, it's kind of cool. You're giving them praise as a company for doing that. Why be a prick when you can actually go out looking?
Oh, definitely. Because I always appreciate when good things are done. And I never forget. And if there's an opportunity to thank that person or thank someone or an organization, of course I'm going to do that.
And the Saturn guy is playing drums for Boston. Hello.
Yeah, I can remember. My
good marketing plan.
show in California was at the Big Bear Mountain motorcycle festival, and I can remember just playing in one of my first or second songs or whatever. I'm looking up at the sky and I'm like, man, I'm so far away from home, and just to play drums, it was, I used to think maybe going to Rochester was far,
Yeah.
And it was, you're coming home 4 in the morning from a gig. Country. Yeah, and that one's, then again, I'm doing sound check at 10 in the morning, and I don't have nothing else to do but just hang out at the hotel or sightsee until you play. And it's only and that show we opened for Kansas. It was just us in Kansas. And, so I played my 1 hour set, and then I sit and watch the next band on, and, and it's no drums to take down. It's like, thank you, good night. And I just walk off the stage, But I'm not, it doesn't humble. It's not a humbling thing where it's like, I know the difference, So now when I go play at Lucan's on June 1st, it's, I got to load the car full of drums, set them all up, and I won't be tearing them down till 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. So
I'll just have to find you a bunch of roadies.
I used to have some back in the day, but, there's not many out there anymore. Not that,
The quality.
Yeah.
You need quality. You don't want just somebody throwing your drums around. You spend a lot of money on that stuff.
We have a guy checking in on Twitch. He wants to know if you want to get as big as Asking Alexandria, Five Finger Death Punch, or Disturbed.
Well, that would all be ideal, but I met Disturbed, actually, a great band, and one of my favorite drummers, by the way. But anyway, I think, once you get to a certain point in your life, you have to make a decision. And right here where we live in Utica, unfortunately, there's not really a lot of musical opportunity for people looking for national acts. You have to take it upon yourself with the internet and everything to put together a digital press kit, and send it out into the world, because no one's coming here looking for you. You got to go send it out.
Right.
And I have never really done anything like that recently. I mean, I have a very successful photography career as well, which I really love. And, so music was my first love, but being realistic, at my age in life, if a great opportunity would come, I would do it. But
couldn't you piggyback the photography with going on tour? I mean, you just said you go to all these cool places, and and see all these cool things. Now you take your pictures, you take band pictures.
Oh yeah.
But then I mean, his wedding photography is phenomenal.
Thank you.
He shot a friend of ours wedding 2 weeks ago or so.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks. Yeah.
Just simply incredible. You really captured the happiness. You can feel it through the pictures. It was great.
Yeah, well, I'm very, passionate about anything I do. I take a real personal side to it, whether it's taking someone's picture, or music. That's a problem I've had with bands in the past where they don't have the same work ethic, where they don't approach the live show or rehearsal or anything like as serious as I do.
Yeah, I know you are very serious when you're working. We can joke around now, but I was trying to joke around with him at the wedding. He's like, yeah, I got to go. I'm over here. I got to take these pictures. I'll talk to you later. And it's like, and I'm laughing at him. I'm like, I know, Pat.
And you kind of have to, and we do remotes and stuff, and everybody wants to talk to you. And you're like, well, hold on a second.
I have to focus.
I have to, I'm talking to somebody here. I got to, do this. And you feel like, you don't want to be rude. You know what I mean? When I express it, I'm not trying to be rude, but I got to go, man. Because otherwise you'll sit and talk to 15, 20 people.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and like I said, I didn't even think I'd be playing again. It was pretty sad, but the last project I was in burnt me out so bad that I just was like, wow, man. All the work and blood that you put into this, and it's just gone like that, I would rather just... it was the only really good thing about it that time. It was a year ago, June. Is I didn't have to load a car full of drums in the winter. I was really looking forward to that, and that's showing my age as well. But then again, like I said, I've had a taste of the great opportunities, the professional opportunities where things were made leisure for you, and I love that the best. But unless I also have a son, and at that time when I was with the guys from Boston, he'd be calling me. I'd be getting ready to go on stage in a show in Vegas or something. He'd be like, Dad, can my friends sleep overnight? And I'm like, Zach, I'm not going to be home for a week. And so that's another reason why I had to leave from that opportunity because, sometimes life has things that are more important and you have to do it, and like you said, it was an opportunity that I at least came and I was able to enjoy it, and it's memories, and it makes you who you are. Now, when everything moving forward, I handled it a lot differently, and I want the exact thing
experience
from everyone else. How I'm presenting myself musically and work ethic, I want everyone to be the same way because it's not fair to me if you're not, because it's so different when you go on that stage with 4 or 5 guys. Right. You're so dependent on everyone, and yes, it could be fun, or whatever, but you really are. There has to be some kind of level of discipline.
Oh, man, you and Todd must get along great.
I know. I was just thinking the same thing because I don't know the other 2 guys as well, but I know Todd.
Yeah.
And if he's working, don't even bother.
Meticulous.
Oh, my God.
He'll be sitting there like,
ridiculous.
Dude, will you move that chair? That's bugging me. Or take the camera just to the right. Or, just every little nuance.
He's out here. He would be out here adjusting. I'm sure something is chapping his ass
at home.
You should call
him Tinkering Todd. He's right now. He's tinkering around with shit right here.
And he's probably not happy with the placement of something.
Oh no,
he's home cursing it. But he's he's a perfectionist, like you, much like you. He's very focused, much like you. He doesn't get distracted, much like you. So I can see how you two would work well together. And I said, I don't know the other 2 guys as well.
Well, the other 2, and a lot of people out there will know Steve Alozio, the infamous Bear, who was the original guitar player of the Bomb. He is a very strict and focused musician as well. And that was one of the biggest deciding factors for me to do this, because I knew right off the bat that there was going to be somebody else that was going to be working just as hard as me and pushing me.
Right.
And in rehearsal we make each other laugh because sometimes, he'll push me, I'll push him, and we all both respect that.
Yeah.
And Todd's always been a very hard worker. Back in the day when we first started Toast, he'd be hanging lights before he sang.
Did he have hair?
Long hair, yeah.
Oh, we gotta get a photo.
Oh, yeah. No shirt, freaking tattoos everywhere.
We gotta see this.
No. There's a picture on Toast's Facebook page of Todd way back in the day with hair.
Yeah.
I gotta have this picture.
Oh my gosh! Pull it up. Pull up Toast on Facebook. It's in their pictures, and pull up their photos.
Yeah, there's some in the archives. I gotta dig into my pictures.
I think it was like a newspaper clipping or something.
Yeah.
Because I'm a stalker. You know how I am.
Yeah, well, the thing is, obviously back in the 90s, we didn't have the cell phones, and so there wasn't as much media out there. So anything that we did, of course, I was still a photographer back then. I had to just choreograph the photos and do the pictures and stuff, and we got some good results, and I got to go and find those, and start, I mean, because there's so many that,
the then and now.
Yeah. Yeah, we did, it was,
Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's a riot, isn't it?
no facial hair. Yeah.
Can you put it up there?
I think Todd's doing it now.
Thank you, Todd. It's awesome. I was like, oh my God. And so I tell my Todd, I'm like, Todd, it's Todd with hair. You got to see this. Come here.
Yeah, no, but again, I mean, and when you see the show, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I mean, there's a lot of bands out there they're very professional, obviously, and they they're getting all the gigs, because of that,
Well,
but
you guys are new. You'll be getting all the gigs in a minute and a half.
yeah, well, we want to do it in a part-time thing where it's
Right.
where it's a big event every time we do it.
Yeah.
We're not just going to
Not every
oversaturate
week.
the town like a
Not
lot of these
every
bands
week.
do. I mean, we want it to be a big event, and and so you can get that fix.
Right.
Yep.
And that's
Satisfy the need.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, there's really not much of a scene around here or places to play, so you really got to do that.
Yeah.
If you're playing every week, but just down the street, or a different place. I mean, that's how Saranac has become. I mean, it's just become, the same entertainment, but just at a different club.
And
so you're going on Varick Street, and it doesn't matter where you are. It's going to be just the same band, just at a different club. Which, I guess, it's the bars doing, and it's not,
Right.
not the bands. Of
Right.
course, they're lucky.
They're just
to work.
doing getting
Yeah,
gigs, right?
Exactly.
I'm sure they want to expand their,
Yeah, well, of course, it's just a unfortunate situation that we're in, that the scene is so bad that that we, and that comes first.
Well, you're a little bit older, so you all have
These bands that are playing
established
every day of the week. They're all my same age too.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh yeah,
Well,
a couple.
actually,
Yeah,
no,
a
I
couple
take
of
that
them.
back. I can
Well,
remember a
couple of
Showtime
them
opening
are.
for me when they had to bring their parents into the club. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember when I was tending bar at Knuckleheads. Justin was like a baby.
Oh yeah, I can remember. Yeah, they had to have
Yeah,
their parents.
he
They
wasn't
couldn't play
even
the gig
legal.
unless their parents were there.
Yeah, he wasn't even legal then.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, but.
Yeah.
But and you notice like a lot of these bands are grouping up and having like multiple band shows, which I think is great because 2.5, 3 hours is a lot of time for a band to have to put together a show, and then you kind of lose the crowd. But like when you have different bands and different styles, people will stick around longer. And not to mention, you're playing in front of other bands.
Well, you're pulling and you're pulling different people.
Right.
Yeah,
for
all
each.
their
Each
fans.
band's promoting each other.
No, that's how it used to be back in the day. Back in the Lily's days, and I mean, in Coleman's, there was always multiple bands, and you played an hour, and it was great. You brought your fan base, and then
And then you got to hang out and enjoy the night.
Yeah, and it was, and I don't know, it just seemed like that. A lot of people. But again, you can't. No one's getting paid if you're doing that. I mean, you got to pick your poison. Do you want to have a great night, or do you want to have like an okay night and just make money?
Right.
I mean, so. It all depends on what
The goal, your goal. It's
those
what you're
days,
looking
I mean,
to
the
do.
money thing is great, and it really is, and I look at it as more of a respect thing than really, I mean, I'm putting it back into equipment, drumsticks, cymbals, I've already bought 2 cymbals, and I'm planning on Lucan's paying for them. So I mean, that you always look ahead that way because it's as a musician we got expenses and things are expensive. I mean, we rehearse with full PA. And everything's mic'd because we want everything to be exactly this way and transfer over to the stage.
Right.
So of course, there's going to be lighting and stuff.
Perfectionists.
Yeah, and everything's going to be down to what's going to be in between songs and stuff. Really trying to bring you back to the '90s grunge scene.
I cannot
when
wait.
it was popular. And
I love that shit.
yeah, and
Still
just
love it.
not just pull a Alice in Chains song out or pull it's actually going to be all that genre and all the same bands that are in that genre and kind of bring you through that kind of time.
I'm excited.
I
Bring
seen
you
you
back.
guys back at the Electric Company, and you guys pulled out a Faith No More song. And I'm like, nobody covers Faith No More. I loved it. I thought, this is great. Nobody covers them.
We love Faith No More, but unfortunately, I know. I mean, we were just talking about it the other day that we need to play it. It's just, again, when you're in a band situation, we got and you trust each other's opinions.
Right.
You got 4 people that have ideas, and you have to trust them. Like, there was a certain Pearl Jam song that I really wanted to do, and I'm so passionate about it, and I really loved it, and I could envision us doing it great. It would be a great set opener. And Bear's like, I don't really like that song. He goes, I want to do this one. And I was totally
And your
cool.
heart, yeah, because
I'm
your
like,
heart can't get into something that you hate.
No, I'm like, all right, there's so many Pearl Jam songs out there. I go, all right, we'll do that one. But then next time we play, let's do that one. It's just compromise.
Yeah.
They're all good songs. It's just when I hear a song on the radio, or if I see a video, or if I see a performance live, I want to kind of take a little bit of that and bring it to here. That's why I always encourage you to go see bands live. Because it's really the best. Musicians to go see bands live, because that's the best way to get what's working and what's not.
Feel the crowd.
Yeah,
because you have to know what the crowd is like,
and going with an open mind too. Like there's a certain kind of musicians that are like, oh, these guys suck. You know what I mean? They got to critique everything. Oh, I could do this better. I could do. But then there's the music fan musician who goes there and is just like, wow, these guys are great. I had a great time, and like really wants to be a part of it and support. And we need more of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're always going to, the average Joe, the music lover that's not a musician, they can be entertained mostly by everyone. Especially if it's a song that they like. So, that's why the cover bands are big around here. Because you just gotta.
It's popular music. It's what people know.
You could go to just 45 minutes away to Syracuse, and original music is really popular out there.
Right.
It's really difficult around here, and that's why with the multi-band things that works. Like 12 North does a lot of them, where you can get a lot of these original bands in there, and they can get a bigger crowd and play on a nice sound system, and actually have an opportunity to play their music to an audience.
Right.
Back in the day, even in Toast, we were doing originals, but we were mixing them in with the covers. We knew you had to do covers.
You have to slip them in.
But we were doing the originals, and people were starting to like the originals just because they were already enjoying what they were doing, and they listened to your song, and then but it's tough around here to do original music. But
we got Kinslayer checking in. He said Pearl Jam Black. He says that's a good song to do.
It's in the set. We'll see you at Lucan's on June 1st.
Nice. And he said, who is your favorite drummer, or who inspired you the most?
Well, I get that question a lot. I just like with music, you can find something in a lot of drummers that make them unique, and you want to grab a little bit of them. Obviously Neil Peart. He's a songwriter drummer. He's great at parts. And then then you got someone like Tommy Lee, who's just an amazing rock drummer.
A showman a little bit.
Yeah, and you want to have some of that, I threw my arm out last year just because I'm getting old, and just being a showman on the stage, it's a lot more than just playing drums.
And Tommy Lee back then too. Tommy Lee was the shit. Like everybody wanted to be Tommy.
Yeah,
Well, I just saw him a couple of years ago. For Christ's sakes, he's flipping around.
Yeah,
he plays with the third stick in the middle.
It's like ridiculousness.
Well, but
Pat, do you do that?
my drum set going around in circles? It's not in the budget. But but that would be if we get Saranac next year, maybe I'll incorporate that.
Okay, perfect.
But that's an example there where Tommy Lee, not only is he's you can already tell that he's a showman, but then he incorporates that where the drums are twirling in the air.
Yeah.
That is just amazing to me, as and then John Bonham, Groove Master, I can remember this, being a kid, and remember it's probably still a station. Is WPNR still a station?
The college station, yes.
But see, now back in the day when it was more of a hip hop rap station.
Well, I think they do like separate shows.
Like different shows now.
Style shows.
Because if I remember correctly, I can remember falling asleep with my little friggin' radio Walkman, not really liking hip hop or rap or anything, but just loving the grooves and the beats and just falling asleep to them because I could find rhythm in everything. I could be sitting at a light and it's raining out and the windshield wiper's going and I'm finding a groove, and it makes me mad that the windshield wiper's really not in perfect time. But there was like a scene in Purple Rain where he made a rhythm out of dripping water. I love that kind of stuff. There's a lot of drummers out there. There's so many great ones. Everyone has if you could grab something from me that you like, that I do, I have job accomplished. Because there's really so many different things that make you original to who you are. There's a lot of great jazz drummers, and progressive drummers. Of course, everyone thinks that progressives are the best, but I look at them as like, holy crap, you just blew my mind, but it's just, I also got that commercial side too that wants to people to understand or be entertained by what I'm doing. You know, the musicians, there's 10 in the audience, and the other 200 are the fan that likes the song on the radio. You know,
Right.
It's sad to say, but that's just the way it is. I'd like to both to be entertained. You know, so I try to do a little bit of, you know, have that discipline, hardworking side, at the talent's there, but at the same time, you know, be entertaining at the same time.
The balance.
Add a show.
The balance.
Well, I mean, that's why you're at a show. I mean, that's
Yeah.
you have to be
To
entertained.
have a good time.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah. Stage presence is very important. It's very important to me. I mean, it's very important for watching a band. You know, I mean, if a band ain't bringing it, you know, it don't matter how good they sound. You know, I mean, I want something.
You're gonna
I
You're
want
gonna
you
be
to give me something that shows that you really, this is coming from inside. You know, and the only way you're gonna get that is you just can tell.
Who was that band for you?
That did that?
Yeah.
God. Well, it's been a while since what's the
They
last
just
live
completely
show?
floored you with their show, and
Good question.
God, I hate to sound like a jerk, but there's so many.
I
Man.
know.
I've seen so many shows. You know, I mean, I can remember, we're talking back in the 90s, I went to see 311 and Jimmy's Chicken Shack at a place in Rochester. And on the way to the show, the radio station that we were listening to was talking about this band Incubus that was also on the bill. Wasn't on our tickets, wasn't, you know, I didn't know anything about this band. And so we get to the show, and they're the first band on, and they blew me away. This was on their Science album before anybody knew who they were. You know, they're young kids, maybe 19, 20 years old. And they blew me away so much. I bought the CD immediately, and I was like, man, this band is great. So, I mean, sometimes, you know, I mean, that was a live show that did that.
Right.
You know, I didn't hear their songs yet. You know, their live performance.
That was your first.
blew you away.
The voice
Introduction.
and everything, you know, and they're become a lot different of a band, but they're still great, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, I just saw a couple years ago a band called Young the Giant, you know, and I know that's a band that I really liked, but sometimes bands don't transfer from the studio to the stage. Sometimes,
Right.
you know, they don't. Sometimes they give you more, like a band called Live, you know, Live Throwing Copper. I saw them numerous times. They bring a whole different show, better than their record sometimes, I think, you know. I mean, but like I said, when I saw Young the Giant, I mean, the sound, everything was so great. It was just, you know, name it. I'm Motley Crue. Of course, they were great.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, until like past few years when Vince Neil like forget the words or like too fat to like actually sing it.
we're talking like Shout of the Devil. I'm old, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, seeing him on that tour, even Theater of Pain was great when they went with the makeup, which I wasn't understanding, but they were still great. You know, Kiss. I mean, God, I've seen Kiss.
Yeah. What about Kiss?
You know,
What do you think, Chicken?
Fucking hate Kiss.
Well, you know, I just think that, you know, Kiss, unfortunately, they're at that age where it's like, you you enjoy your success, you know, or whatever, you know, but because right now it's the show that's
Gene
saving.
Simmons just needs to shut his mouth. Every other day he's saying something stupid. Just like, shut
Well, quit
up.
listening to him and just listen to the music.
Oh,
You're
Well,
thinking about it too
What
much.
about you, Addy? Who was that show for you?
I would probably have a couple. Metallica way back at Weedsport in 89, 90, it's in that area, was just like an incredible show.
That one with
But like a band that you
That
didn't-
was
is that ALC?
no, I knew them
on
then.
that date or on that.
What about a band you didn't know before like, that you heard live and just kind of like, wow.
I honestly don't think that I've ever. Oh, all right, Ireland, just in October, we're standing in a pub in Ireland, ready for an Irish band to go on. The Elders. I mean, they're here all the time. And all of a sudden, I hear Johnny Cash singing, and I'm thinking, oh, somebody's playing the jukebox. And then June Carter starts singing, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And I turn around, and there's this couple up there singing, and they blew me away. They did a June Carter, Johnny Cash, and then they did a couple of originals. And I follow them on Facebook. I voted for them in a contest and stuff. Rugged Grace.
Wow.
Just incredible. And great people. But that
helps out too.
yeah, that kind of blew me away. And I know
personality.
everybody who knows me right now is real surprised that I like a twangy country. But they blew me away.
Oh,
They
yeah,
were
I mean,
just that good.
You got to really open your mind in music, you know. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and then there's nothing wrong with just, you know, I mean, if you have that certain like personality that people say that you're a rock chick, or whatever, But I mean, I like all different kinds of music.
And at this stage of your life, and as music has blended so much,
Right.
It's hard to differentiate different genres anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I went and it was like 91. I went to go see the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, right? Opening up
what
was,
tour?
It was Smashing Pumpkins
And Pearl Jam.
I
saw the same show 3 times.
At the Landmark.
The Landmark, yep, and I saw it in Rochester and Albany.
Oh my God, like Eddie Vedder, like running up and down the aisles and shit. Like that's when Pearl Jam.
Now, see, Pearl Jam, that's a good example because not to interrupt, I apologize.
No,
but
absolutely, go ahead.
I didn't know who Pearl Jam was at that time.
Me either. Like they didn't. 10 wasn't released yet.
No,
they didn't come out.
But Siamese Dream was. That's what they were tour that Smashing Pumpkins
Gish.
was on.
It was Gish.
It was. They were still playing the Siamese Dream record, but maybe it was just released because Blood Sugar Sex Magic was the tour.
I actually thought Smashing Pumpkins sucked.
I know.
Like it wasn't.
It's unfortunate.
Well, you had Pearl Jam with such a high energy, like in your face. You're like, wow, who the
Raw.
hell are these guys? Like
Raw,
all over the place.
So good.
And then Smashing Pumpkins, like Billy Corgan, I don't feel like can play and sing that well at the same time. I feel like he should have just give one to the other. But it kind of brought you down. And then the Chili Peppers were really, tons
They were
of energy
great.
too,
Right.
That was John Frusciante before he went crazy.
And that's to me the that's the album. When people say which Chili Peppers, it's Blood Sugar. Like that's to me anything after that's okay, but not Blood Sugar. But man, yeah, that show blew me away. And the other one was Grace Potter. I went to the show. Z had got me in, gave me a free ticket. I was like, all right, I'll go check these guys out, whatever. And then I heard her play and then sing, and I'm just like, wow, this girl can shred. She's really freaking good. And she's amazing. She's beautiful. So I'm like, wow, really turned me on to her. I was like, this is awesome. So
yeah, I mean, when you least expect it, you can be turned on to something. I mean, I worked in a record store for 6 years too, so I really got to get exposed to a lot of different
record
bands.
Store. What's a record store?
I know. Well, I call it a record. It was CDs.
Yeah.
FYE back in the day.
Back in the mall.
Well, the Wall first, which was awesome with their lifetime guarantee, and then then it changed over to FYE. But so I got to just anything I wanted. I just what's this? I'll listen to that. And I got turned on to so many different kinds of bands. And then of course when you're in bands, all your fellow band members, they're all into different kinds of music. Most of the time, your band members are all into different kinds of music. You're all collectively getting together to do this one thing that you do together, but you all have your own interests. And if you could get to play a song that's one of your interests, it's awesome. So it's very rare you get to do that. But in this band, I'm getting to play a lot of songs that I like. So it hasn't been that way in a long time. But
it seems like it's fitting and it's working.
Yeah.
It's and I think it's different. Like we were saying, you're different stages of your life. So people learn to compromise, like choose your battles,
right?
And they might, just like who cares, really? Like who really gives a shit at this point?
Right.
Like,
well, in the past 25 years, you've all grown,
right? You really want to fight over a
and
song, really?
Right?
I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, no, it's ridiculous. No, and the thing is, if I have a strong defense, like maybe not to do a song or something, of course I'm going to try to give you a reason why. That's all. I'm gonna if you have a reason why something shouldn't be done or why you shouldn't do something or why you should, just give a real good reason. And then I mean if you could do it that way, they're gonna understand why. I mean, like with that one Pearl Jam song, I mean, I was so passionate about doing it, and he said, nah. He didn't, and it's funny because we got the song list the next day or the next rehearsal, and it's not on there. And this other song is, which I don't even know where that came from, So he just he wanted to do that one, but he goes, well, we could, maybe do it next time, and I go okay, but if you have a good reason why, I mean, my only reasoning why I want to do that song is because I envisioned it being great, I mean, it doesn't know it's gonna be great, but I've been doing this long enough that where I just, I mean, you see a band do it live or you hear it, you just feel like, I know that would be a great opener. I mean, you gotta dissect the show more than just, being a rock star or you're a musician. You're kind of like choreographed, and it's like, what are the people gonna really dig?
I can tell. I've known you for a lot of years. I am so freaking excited for this show. I really am. And I've seen you play with a lot of bands.
Yeah,
I've seen you out a lot. But
feels
this
good
one,
to be heavy again. I haven't really been heavy in a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
this
gotta feel
one
good, right?
is
It's tiring me out, but it's
it's good
we
for
have
you.
5-hour rehearsals. I mean, it's a lot of playing. And it's not much talking, a lot of playing. So to get back into shape because I hadn't played in so long. Now I'm back. It feels good now. I'm not hurting after every rehearsal.
Right.
So everything is good now. But it feels good to be a little heavier, a little bit more angst. Because back in the 90s, I mean, that's that Seattle scene. I mean, if it's raining all the time, man, you're bummed, man. So you got this angst in you.
We know.
Yeah, we know.
Fuck you, Seattle. We're way worse than you. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, unfortunately. It's finally nice now.
Yeah.
Finally nice here now, anyways.
But I mean, I feel like there's some really great bands from this area. Even like back in the 90s, man, like actually in my car right now, I'm listening to Nine Ball.
Oh, yeah. Well, Joe, what's up, buddy?
Yep.
If it wasn't for Joe, we wouldn't be at Lucan's. Love
Greg
you, Joe.
Jones, like a lot of bands back
Yeah.
then. It was a
man.
great scene and great music. Like to me, that's our version of the 60s. The 90s, I felt like so many epic bands came out at that time that are going to be considered classic rock.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they already are classic.
Oh, I know, right?
rock.
Rolled.
Have you listened to the classic rock
Yeah,
station?
no, it was a really, really cool scene back then, You had the Red Herrings and they
Red
were
Hush.
Maybe Toast will get that started and regenerate all of that.
Yeah.
Revive it.
A lot of times people aren't brave enough, A lot of times they just, bands will be bands
Oh,
and
no,
they
it's
just
done.
what are the chicks gonna like, Well, be surprised, man. Chicks like hard rock too.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I passed up 2 country opportunities, I mean, they were working professional country bands, and I passed them up in this little hiatus I had only because I couldn't be passionate about country.
Right.
It's great music. It attracts tons of people, including lots of ladies,
Yeah.
and yet I just listened to, Frog for a couple days in my car while I'm working, and I really tried really hard to look at the other side, the business side, and I'm like,
Wrap your head around playing
yeah,
that.
I couldn't. Not that the talent side of course,
Right.
I can play it, but I wanted to have fun playing, and I wanted to be really passionate about it if I was going to do this again. I don't want it to be just a job. I just want to go up and play drums,
Right.
in a band that I don't care about.
Yeah, you already have a job.
Yeah, I already have a job. So, again, getting back to, I care about what I do, so those guys were really understanding, and they understood why, and they wouldn't, like within even a relationship, you don't want to be in it too long if it's not the right thing,
Right.
so quit while you're ahead, I'm like, nah, I'm not even going to rehearse. I'm not even going to, I already had the job, but I wasn't going to let, because they needed to get going right away because they're a working band. They needed a guy right away to
Right.
come right in here and so they could keep working, so.
Yeah.
I feel like you sold your soul at that point.
Yeah.
Highest bidder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't even know I'd be doing this right now, but it just sometimes this the right thing comes along and the right situation, and for me, this was the right situation, right thing.
So
to
what
do.
time do you guys go on? Like 10 o'clock on the first?
We'll say 10-ish.
10-ish. All right.
Yeah,
So
let's say 10-ish.
we'll all be there at 9-ish to prime.
Yeah, I would, to me, like you were talking about, like other bands, I would have loved to have, another band maybe come in or whatever.
I
But
was going to ask you if there was an opener.
yeah, I would love to do that, but maybe get one of these original bands to come in there. But this is one of these unique situations where this band, we're carrying our own production, we're carrying everything is like we can't even. I was like trying to get us to maybe come do a couple songs with some band set at Saranac, just
Right.
us to come in there. And even that would be kind of difficult for us because we really do have a choreographed sound.
And you need your equipment.
Steve's equipment is he's got a certain sound that he has. The bass is, it's all really unique to us. Todd's got all we call him Todd Resner, because he's got all these different things.
Can I
We
make
know.
one request. I want Todd to dress up as Rob Halford.
Leave my Todd alone. Poor
Todd, you
Todd.
need to come
Well,
dress
if we get a Halloween show, This is
why you're fired. Did you see that Z fired you? I'm his new co-host.
Oh, you fired me?
He likes
Damn it.
he likes how the hat looks better on me.
Damn
Good.
it.
So Anthony's
Yeah, Z's
that.
watching.
excellent. Hi Z.
We've got quite a few. Lori Demanda, who gave me the hat.
How do I
is
get
watching.
fired from my own company? God.
I know. Well,
Yeah, but so again, to put another band in front of us, it would be a little bit just because it's our first show. We actually
Right.
officially come back on. We want to make sure that nothing goes wrong. So you start moving microphones around, you start doing things like that, and
I think we're all pretty excited to see you, so I don't think you even need anything. I don't think we're going to need a warm
Well,
up.
I would just
and
like
I
to
honestly
support.
would feel bad.
And I've seen.
I would feel bad for anybody going on because we'd be there like, toast, 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 you know?
Yeah, well, I just like to support. Like, I know the
Right.
original music. I know the band very well. I'd love to help them out. Or my buddy Sal Piazza. His band. Any band I can try to help because they're not getting the opportunity. One in July it's in the air right now. It's in the works, and then we got another one at Lucan's in August. But the one in June, that's going to be pretty much the one that's going to give us some video material. So I can put together a package. Even though I played the casino 30 million times, you still got to send a package. You got to do it the right way. You got to do it professionally.
Right.
They're not going to just say, yeah, we know. Yeah, we saw, but.
Oh, so you have 3 friends you want to play here? Sure, come on in.
You got to do it the right way because that's, and that's the club that I want to be at, because we will do great there, and I just want to get that opportunity. So I got to do it the right way. That's why I was talking about Joe earlier, Joe Sweet, and because, he does the booking at Lucan's, and he believed in me, man. He trusted me because he knows Toast from back in the day when we used to do it, and he knows that if I'm bringing it back, he knows it's going to be a good thing, and that's why he even offered me another date in the summer, and appreciate that.
Joe's a good guy. I love Joe.
He really is, yeah. He's a great
he
guy.
built my real estate app for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's right. He does that, too.
Yeah, he and his wife, Chip, are freaking talented.
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
I used to go back to the Bobby McGee's back in the day and catch all the bands, man. And I remember seeing Joe there tons of times. And every time they went there, place was packed.
Yeah.
But that's when people really went out and supported live music.
They really did.
And I think I keep hearing it from a lot of people, so I think it's like starting to come back around.
I hope so.
But you just got to get a place to put them all. I mean, because we have them in here. I mean, we have some amazing musicians come in and out of this studio.
But there's a lot of small venues around where you're not really fitting a lot of people.
And
I mean, I can really think that
unless it's summertime, you got Lucan's inside, and that's on Varick Street. Everything else,
right? I mean, the Celtic Harp is too small.
It is.
The Sanctuary is huge, but it's like levels.
Correctly. It's not set up correctly.
No, it's like no offense to, but they didn't plan ahead for having any kind of entertainment.
Yes, exactly.
And a place that big, you've got to have something going
that place
on.
Is beautiful and
it's gorgeous.
Enormous.
The money they put into it. I don't know why there isn't a place for entertainment.
Well, you do. You have the whole outside. I mean.
Okay, but
is a great place for
that's
live
great
music.
for June, July, and some of August.
You definitely
9
need,
months a year.
Indoor venue, and I always thought like Piers and Blake was a great place for that because you had the whole separate side where you just put the bands in, and you had the bar separate. You just put like a makeshift bar in the other room. I think that would have been perfect. They had perfect doors to wheel people in and out, but electric needed to be redone.
Well, they're redoing that whole building.
They should,
but I think it's going to be lofts, and it's going to be a little higher end than.
I thought that was a great
nightclub
place for
and whatnot. I think
parking was. Oh no, they had the whole parking lot on the side, so it was okay.
There's decent parking.
But yeah, that's what we need is the venues. But you got to remember, like you got to get people in there. That's why they get all the.
If you build it, they will come.
They just want like the DJs and stuff like that, and
right, they're cheap,
and people don't know any better, so they just go there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why that's probably why there isn't any bars.
You have to stick
taking
with it.
Consideration of live entertainment.
Right.
I mean, Sanctuary, that
because
was $1 million facility.
I know, and you would think
and he didn't do it.
A few changes because maybe it's
and he's
not in his
same
plan.
owner as the Bullet, and he used to have bands there. I played there. So but sometimes they don't want to, because you got to pay the band.
Right.
Yep.
There's no such thing as a cover charge anymore, which, I've had those woes back in the day, it's got to be a group effort. The bars have to take a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't help that Saranac, the big stage, only has 4 popular bands, and then the rest are bands that nobody knows. They don't understand. A lot of people are getting mad. Why do these bands always get to play? Well, they wouldn't be mad if every decent local band had a spot on the big Saranac stage. Why can't they? Bands like Remedy or Nervous Rex. There's a lot of bands out there that play all the time in all our bars and bring money into our bars. Yet they don't get to play on that stage where they could get more popularity, which would build the scene. There's bands that are playing on that Saranac stage this year that don't even play out. They don't even play out live, and yet they're playing that stage. It's not like it's a reunion of a certain thing. But so I think Saranac's doing it wrong, where they're not plugging the the people that actually work yearly, you know, and they're just putting 4 of the popular ones, and they're the same ones every year. So, you know, people are getting mad, but I guarantee no one would be mad if they had the whole calendar filled with a taste of everybody.
You can even couple them together. You know, like,
sure.
Yeah.
That stage is big enough to have 2 bands on there, 2-3 bands on there. That'd be a great idea. You know, and then if there's some, obviously there's so many Thursdays, you know, put in the Syracuse band or put in the band are really good that are popular, you know, because think about it. Who's coming on a Thursday from Syracuse or Albany or wherever and they're going to spend the night? They're going to lose a day work on Friday, you know? I mean, this is a local thing, man, Thursdays on Barrack Street, you know? You know, we all go into work Friday with the hangover, man. We know, you know, I mean, but it's only down the street, you know, we're close, you know? I mean, I just think there should be more unity on the small guys, you know, I mean, just because you've been playing 30 years does not mean you're better than this band over here that doesn't get the gigs that you do. You know, I mean, they're not good at marketing or whatever. I mean, you know, that's a lot of it. You know, I mean, when I joined Simple Props, you know, it was 6 years ago. I mean, I never even heard of the band. I know I was just drunk on my birthday, saw them at Celtic Harp, and they ended up losing their drummer. And I said, you know, I fill in for you, you know, and then they just kind of let me take the reins and do the marketing and really push the
6-year fill-in.
Yeah, 6-year fill-in. Yeah, you know, but you'd be surprised. You know, with logos and pictures and the, you know, social media is amazing for that. You know, you take full advantage of it, and you do a lot of it. You be witty. You got to be witty, you know, and you can create some attention. And then of course you got to go out and have the product as well, you know. But
Jason Stevens suggested Kozars. I swear I haven't been in there in so long. I don't even remember what it looks like. Is that big enough? I thought that was a little place as well.
It's another little place, yeah.
I thought it was small.
Yeah, it's another little place. I mean, you know, like I said, if the bars aren't investing in it, you know, I mean, then it means that they don't have faith in it.
Right, and that's what I say all the time, too, is if you're going to do live original music, you have to stick with it. You have to have the fortitude to keep plugging away, because there's going to be times you can have 3 people out. And, like, Z always tells a story, you know, about Ryan Monteblue. Like, the first time he played, he was like 3 people there. Now the guy's selling out. You know what I mean? So you never know, like, who you're gonna end up seeing. But you gotta have that patience, let it grow, let people know that's the place to go for live music.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You have to build that characteristic. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna have some live bands. Oh, it didn't work, so I'm gonna go switch to a DJ."
And you got to be a music lover and be able to say, "Listen, there's all different kinds of music out there. You know, I want to bring these guys in here." And what's going to happen is you're going to get clientele that just like what's happened at the casino. Every band that comes into the gig, those people are 50% of them may be for the band, but the other 50% are just floaters in the casino. You know, that's a great scene. People are coming there because they trust that there's going to be a good act in there. It doesn't matter who it is, you know, and some are better than others, you know, but that's what you got to do. You got to create a vibe in your place that, you know, people are always going to come no matter what. I mean, like Coleman's back in the day in Rome, you know, I mean, they always had great entertainment. People would go to Rome, you know, I mean, all the way out there. Yep. And pack them in.
Yeah, it didn't matter who was playing. I don't think you ever even looked at who was playing.
Like I said, we used to go to Bobby McGee's. We'd all like come over from Utica, pack up at the mall, get like 15, 20 carloads of people, and just head over there, catch the bands, you know? And you're like, oh, who's the band? I don't know.
Who cares?
But we'll check them out.
There is one.
We'll check them out.
Yep.
I know. And that's really, you know, what we're lacking here. You know, we get, like you said, there's so much talent here, you know, and it's been here forever, you know, and even the older guys that, you know, have been doing it forever, they're still working. They're still playing, you know, and I'm, you know, I always make the joke, you know, my next gig is going to be a wedding band. I will be in a wedding band. I don't care. I love to play, you know.
You know what? You can take the pictures.
I know people ask me about that. I don't think I mean, back in the day, I would actually do a wedding, picture-wise, and then I would probably leave. If I had a break, I would leave maybe mid-afternoon, car loaded with drums, go to the club that I'm going to be playing, have it all arranged, set up the drums, then go back to my wedding, do the reception, and then change into my whatever clothes for the gig, and then go back and play the. I could never do that.
If you were doing a wedding band, I would really be hard pressed, knowing you and to choose between you photography and your music. I would be like,
yeah, because we would have to play music you probably don't like, you know, because it's a wedding.
Well, hell with them.
You know, we played. I was in Dashboard Nixon, and we played a lot of weddings, and they were so much fun. You know, I mean, because that band could pretty much pull songs out of nowheres. You know, we never rehearsed. We never had a set list. It was always whatever, you know, Gary Johnson would.
You guys were great, though. Yeah.
That was a band where we played like McGill's for 3 people when we first started out, or Valley Brook for 10. you know, and then like that following year, it only took a little while with a little bit of marketing and a buzz. We headlined the first Saranac. You know, I mean, you know,
you guys were good.
You know, so I mean, it literally went from 3 people to 3,000. You know, I mean, but you need that care. That's why I say the Saranac thing is important for a lot of these other bands that aren't getting opportunities, because it gives 3,000 people an opportunity to see you.
Exposure.
Yeah, it really is, man, because a lot of people are going out. You know, it's a beautiful summer day. It's early, you know. You know, it's a really good opportunity. The end of the night, that gets a little crazy. You know, I'm usually out of there by 10.
Well, a lot
Except on June 1st.
That's a good point, though, because by 10 o'clock, I know I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
You know, I'm probably not out after 10 o'clock on a weeknight or weekend usually. But
if you do see her, you know she's having a good time.
Oh, God. I apologize for anything I may have said Friday.
No, you're okay. You're
okay,
good Friday.
Good.
I heard about Saturday, but, you know.
Yeah, Saturday, not so much.
Not so much.
Well, like I said, so it's because it's so starved around here for clubs to play, you know, it's hard for any band to get exposure.
Right.
You know, I know Bobby at Dick Smith's, he has bands play there, which is cool, you know. You know, but we really don't have many places to play, so if
That's
you have an
big.
opportunity, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and big meaning, you know, you want to eventually have, think about it, the more space you got and you can fill it, that's more drinks you're selling.
I like to dance.
And that
So
too.
that's how I factor places. If you can fit 5 pieces, like, you know, 5-piece band, 4 5-piece band, and I can still dance with about 20 of my friends, we're good. I just really can't think of the place, though. You know? Lucan's is okay, but you end up being cramped.
You're going to be
still.
cramped because they got that little
They've
island
got
in
that.
the center.
I know, and it just kills my dance floor.
Yeah.
And then, of
Yeah.
course, you know, you'll have Marty there who'll be spinning around, and
Oh,
I'll
my
have to
God.
I'll have to tie him in a corner.
Yeah, you're going to have to tie him.
I will. I'll have
Do
you on
bands
that
the
one.
deck?
What's that?
Does Cavallo's do bands on the deck?
They did. I played there back with Gridley, and I played there with Simple Props. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're doing them anymore, but they did.
Yeah.
Again, summertime. I mean, it's pretty sad that our city comes to life in the summer, and then
And that's it.
it's under a rock all
Well, I mean,
winter.
that deck's enclosed, so they could do it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like Savoy has bands in the summer, you know.
Right.
And, so you know, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for bands to play in the summer, but by the time summer comes, these bars and these places give all their dates to the 4 popular bands, and then there's nothing else to see. Nobody gets no opportunity. So it's just I'm
Right.
not making this up. I've tried to get Toast in all these places. You know, even Joe, you know, at Lucan's, at first I asked for a Thursday, you know, and they're all gone. You know, and same with Celtic, all gone. You know, I mean, they're all gone. How are they all gone? But when you give this band 4, this band 4, this band 4, they'd be gone pretty quick.
And
you know,
you get a lot of these bar owners too. Like I said, they'll put a band, and then like you know, just, oh, we ran a band, and you don't have another band for like 3-4 weeks, and you just happen to have another band, and it's not even consistent. Maybe it's on a Saturday, maybe it's on a Friday, this
Right.
week, maybe it's on a Thursday or a Sunday, and you're like, you're not consistent with it, and your only promotion is you might say a blurb on Facebook. You know, you don't see them back in when I worked for K-Rock and stuff, and I was writing ads for 15 different bars promoting bands coming out and who they're playing and what's going on. I don't hear that anymore.
I know.
You don't hear with these venues, and then they wonder why nobody's coming. They're relying on the band to bring everybody and Facebook invites, and that's it. And people now they just don't even look at the Facebook invites.
You forget.
Yeah.
That's why the band has to be witty and has to, you know, make it more creative, make it more like this is the place where you should be.
And you should have more proactive bar owners.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. You're promoting your business.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, you'd have to bring flyers, you know, which I'm going to go old school. You know, I know Mike from The Bomb, he does that still, the flyers, which do help. Put them in the club. You know, you got a couple Thursdays before you play. A lot of people are going to see it. You know, and you'd want to do that in the club. You know, but you're right. It should be the club saying, hey, Pat, you know, any chance I can get some flyers down here? You know, I mean, they should know on their end what will help. Because if we all work, it all profits. You're only giving me X amount of dollars. You're not giving me any bonus if they get more people. So wouldn't you want to get more people so you take care of us and profit? You know, I mean, but
Yeah, you're already getting paid. There could be 3 people there. You're still getting paid.
Exactly. You know, but and again, you know, I mean, I always try to do my part to make sure that it's a successful night. But I want it to be successful for both sides.
But I remember, you know, you have a band and like you'd have it every Thursday or every Friday or whatever it was. They knew that night you had a band, but then they'd also have drink specials. You know, you have like shot girls.
Definitely.
You would like, you know, you'd have promos and different things going on. You know, win contests and stuff. Nobody does that anymore. You don't see that at any venue anymore.
I know.
And that's what's missing. And that's why nobody gives these bands a chance because they just, oh, well, here, play. We're going to throw some money at you, and you promote yourself.
Good luck.
Yeah, and we're not
But
going
you're
to
lucky
give you a
you
drink
even
special.
get paid. I mean, you go to a bigger city, you got to sell tickets, and it doesn't matter who you are, because there's way too many bands, Now we got, a few, and nobody can get work, and there's no place to play. We had Captain Trips back in the day. That was a great club. Before that, Palm Beach Club. It's, I mean,
Oh my
but
God, the Palm Beach Club.
I mean, but and then we of course
Gills and
yeah. Going back to the summer, we had T-Rex or Sweets on the Beach. I mean, even
Nothing
crazy,
fancy.
even Crazy Clam. I tried to get Toast in there, and Mike's a good friend of mine, and he said they're just doing duos. They're just doing no bands no more. And he said
Well,
the season.
that one room though is kind of small for because they always have people in there eating too.
Yeah, but not once the band starts, they don't. That is a pain in the ass, because you got to wait till everyone's done.
And then you have to clean it out.
But it was a cool place. You got them rocking in there.
Yeah.
I played a lot of
It
good
was
nights
fun.
there. That I actually was so
I think
hot.
that was the last time I saw you was when you were playing the Crazy Clam.
Yeah, that was a Simple Props. Yeah,
That was a good night.
yeah. But so I mean, even him doesn't help that the only place on the beach that has bands is not having bands. So what do?
Mm.
you don't play the beach.
You don't play the beach.
Go to
I
Old
like playing
Forge.
the beach.
Go to Old Forge.
Yeah, I mean, you got Dakers.
Back door.
Yeah, see, I'm not familiar with a lot of places out there. But then again, I got to be this band has got to be booked in the right place. It's got to be a place that, because even Tommy, when I was talking to Tommy at Celtic Carver about booking the band, he wanted to get us inside. I'm like, Tommy,
Not
no
working.
matter what band I've ever been in there, it's been too loud. This band will definitely be too loud. This band is a
wouldn't work.
big production, loud band.
I think you'd be okay at the back door. Someplace like that, or Dakers would be a good place too. I think you guys could play those places.
Yeah.
And Todd might know some place you could stay too.
Might meaning he does.
Yeah. No, and I think Old Forge would be a great place for your band. I was just up there a couple weeks ago, and we caught a band, and they played a lot of '90s music. Not quite the grunge music, but that all that '90s era type stuff.
Who was that?
Yeah, Blink-182.
Poppy 90s.
My So-Called Band.
Oh yeah. I saw some video of them playing at Celtic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were good. They played a lot of that '90s.
Yeah.
Popper
And in
stuff.
fact, I was offering at the time too. It's like, why don't we get the whole '90s night, get K-Rock involved? We'll have that band play first, and then we play. And you get both. You get your pop '90s
right.
and alternative and grunge '90s.
That would have been a good idea.
That'd be fun.
Man, I've been doing this a long time, man. I'm a business guru. I mean, I should be booking Saranac. It would be more entertaining. People would love it. But,
there you go.
and I'm not even being selfish. I just know this area. I've been here my whole life. I've been playing every club in this area until it burned down. I mean, so I mean, I know what people, and it's not a perfect system, but you really, what it comes down to is you got to support who comes out here. Like I used to tell my band, and I was in before, listen to the radio, listen to OUR, K-Rock, Kiss. Those are the songs that we're going to cover, because those are what people are listening to. That's what's in rotation. That's what they're feeding you on
It's
the
what
radio.
they want to hear. It's what they expect.
So
to hear.
yeah, that's what people are requesting. That's so if you're going to be here in a cover band, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's different everywhere you go. I mean, bigger cities, you're going to hear a lot more obscure music on bigger cities. So it's a lot different. But around here, that's what you should be playing if you're a cover band. And when we decided to do Toast again, I'm like, we should be strictly to what K-Rock's doing, because they're playing our whole set list, and just do that. This way we got at least something that we can grab onto as a product. And it's
something to market
jumping
to.
all over the place. Yes. Yeah. That's why we went with the black and white and the really, that grunge look. I mean, try to just have an image.
Simplistic, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Just have an image. And there's still so much music that we haven't even touched on yet, because we have to get ready for one show. And we put so much work into it that we got to see how this show works, what didn't work,
right?
And
adjust.
And just adjust. And so again, we're gonna use this show to get some video footage and stuff, so we can at least put together a package that we can maybe do some different places like up north and stuff like that.
Do you use? Do you do any originals?
No, I mean, we had a lot of originals.
Are you going to bring any of them back?
Well,
Potentially?
again, we put this band together in 2 months, and when you see it, you're gonna be surprised. I mean, because it's a lot of work, to be good.
Right.
You can go and put 2 months in and be okay, but we really put a lot of work into this, and we do it every weekend, and so to bring originals in, you know, that's an idea. You know, you were talking about Faith No More. You know, I mean, we want to do Faith No More. You know, but it didn't fit in this. Not that it didn't fit into our library, but after all the ideas were all said and done, we had no place to put them.
Todd says the Inferno tour.
Yeah. What do you call that? The intentionally set tour. Yeah, because back in Toast days, every place we were playing, coincidentally, was burning down.
Dew Trip.
Yeah, Dew Trip was the first one, yeah.
I proposed to my husband at the Dew Trip.
Oh, really?
I did. He told me no. Yeah, he told me no. Ask me when you're sober.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, I did. He's lucky I remembered. Or maybe he's not, whichever.
Yeah, there was a lot of places that, you know, I mean, it doesn't help when the only places you can play are burning down. But, you know, that was just, you know.
Oh, wait, they want to play?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
maybe we better not.
I remember we had played, that's why we made that joke, but we had played the week prior, and when the fire happened, they had that little marquee in the front, with the lights on and stuff, and it was wintertime when the fire was, so all this icicles and stuff,
water
and the building's all burnt down, and it says
toast.
You know,
pretty much.
Todd wrote,
yes, it is.
We need Jason Clifford to give us the originals on tape.
Yeah, exactly, because we don't remember them. Yeah,
Clifford's got. If you want any kind of music, like, he's got it.
Jason's the man. He really is.
He
was really
get on that, Todd.
Him and Brent were great with SIV. I mean, they were our marketing kings. I mean, when there was no social media, they made SIV more popular than we even were, you know, with their marketing and the giveaways that we used to do at the shows, you know, and they were just really funny, you know, about everything. They made our stickers. They made, you know, it was really cool, you know, the shirts. They knew about merchandising and product and stuff, so they always made it really, really cool for us. And Jason just always been, just like me, he worked in a music store, you know, so he's really knowledgeable about music.
I tried getting him in here.
He'd be great to be in here.
I want to do cliffhangers, right? I want to do like metal, like trivia, and call them cliffhangers.
That's awesome.
And see if he knows more than Stump the Trunk. You know, like this dude knows everything.
I know. I missed that show too, man. I wish they never took that off.
That metal show?
Yes, it was my favorite shows, man. I loved
watch it all the time.
All the time. Now I watch it on my Fire Stick.
VH1 Classics, man. That's all I would watch.
Yeah.
They would on Friday nights have like concerts, live shows.
Yeah, and all the behind the musics. I loved them all.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you're a musician, man, or in the music business, man, those are great things to watch, man, because they're true stories, man. What these guys went through. No, but Cliff, we go way back, but he's so knowledgeable, especially about music, heavy
There's
stuff.
There's a Fox TV video from the Palm Beach Club.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
And they end with Black on there. Yeah, when the credits are going up, we're playing Black, and it's going up.
Who do we know at Fox? We need to get this.
I used to work for Fox.
So you should know. Why do you think I looked at you?
I don't know if I know anybody there still, but
well, let's find out. That'd be cool.
Strings, yeah. I got to find that in the archives. I know.
What else, Todd? Come on. You're full.
Man. We got a lot of stuff. We lost all this stuff. You know, we all have VHS tapes and stuff of this stuff. Man, it's if you move once, you throw those out. You know what I mean? Or
if you leave them in a box too long, they're shot.
Can we get Todd to do some Slayer? You know,
that's a Cliff request, if anyone. But
he would come out and do it too.
Yeah, and that's one thing Jason gets on me about. You know, and this is probably the first band in a long time where actually Jason will enjoy it. But you know, my metal roots. He knows my metal roots. You know, and I was big time into metal back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, heavy stuff. You know, I played in a lot of really heavy bands, and you know, as time went on, you know, I just wanted to make money. I guess. You know, I was young, had no money, and I could make money playing drums, but not playing Slayer. You know, so I had to play. You know, start conforming. You know, and SIV was, like I said, the first band that I actually made money, and they were doing like stuff I didn't really even never heard of before, the Chili Peppers and a lot of their originals. They were mainly originals, but they played the Peppers before nobody knew who they were. Before Blood Sugar Sex Magic. But you know, so
I still hear stories from SIV.
They're out there, man. They're out there. You know, I mean, I thank God for videos. And again, Jason, you know,
is there ever going to be an SIV reunion?
Well, it was in the works. It was definitely in the works a few years ago, and it's just really difficult to. We'd have to get because Ken and Pickaway are in Florida. One guitar player, Mike Tomaselli, who's an amazing guitar player. He actually wrote his own classical album. He's a music teacher in Florida as well. He hasn't been in the band forever, and we replaced him with this guy Scott Sanders, who played in Toast, one of the early members of Toast. And I brought him over to SIV when we lost Mike, and he was a great guitar player, but he's like falling off the planet. We don't even know where he is. Rumor has it doesn't even play guitar anymore. So, and then of course we got John, who played keyboards and all the samples and stuff, and I believe he's still in Rome if I'm not mistaken. But so it was just a matter of the guitar player and then planning a week where they could visit family and then do it that week.
I was gonna say, Ray, you
know.
could probably like lure him back with some tomato pie.
yeah, and it'd be maybe, I don't know where the Pop-Tarts are these days, but we had a couple dances called the Pop-Tarts. I'm not sure where they were, but they were definitely important to the show.
Yeah, I'm sure they were vital.
They're not quite tarts anymore.
Yeah, you're right. Oh man, the fun that we had in that band. But yeah, we wanted to do it, and it was all set to go, and I really was looking forward to it because at that time I was in a different part of my life, where I was trying to be known as a musician, and now that I've accomplished a lot of cool things and I feel more confident as a player, I wanted to bring that to the SIV because those guys were, even though they were really crazy and theatrical and it was mainly the show, they were all great musicians.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, great musicians. And, I just wanted to, show that my appreciation coming in there and kicking ass, and we got a few tapes. SIV had one 4-song CD, and then we did a 22-song demo before I left the band, and we never finished it. I had it on cassette. I gave it to Tony Maggiolino, if you're listening in New York City.
We'll tag
Never gave it back.
Make him a copy.
Yeah, but just can you believe, what, it's a CD at least? He had the only copy of that 22-song tape I had. It had a lot of great songs on it. Maybe, Scott Hayes, New York Sash, maybe he has it, But,
Jason Clifford probably has it.
he probably does. How stupid of
Probably
me.
listen to it right now.
Yeah,
He's
The
burning
Cheese
you a copy of the
song,
disc.
I wish, man. I really wish you would, man, because there were some great songs on it, and it wasn't finished. It was just in its raw form, but it was enough to get the songs.
Yeah.
And they were funny. They were funny songs, but they were really well thought out. I mean, they would write songs about just anything. Or we practiced in John's basement where our friend, it was all our friend Ed. He pretty much, that was his room down there. So we had a song called Ed's Bed. We practiced in Ed's bed. And it was a great song, but we had everything, I Love Kelly Bundy, and that was at that time when that was really popular, had samples of her voice. That was unheard of. There was no samples coming in, and the band would stop and they'd punch samples of her voice, and it'd be really funny, stupid things that she would say, and Planet of the Apes, we had all kinds of, segments coming in from there. We did a lot of funny things, Cheese song. It's literally about every kind of cheese there is, and it was hilarious, Yeah, the Cheese song was a great song. But, and I look at these songs back then, I was like, Cheese song, how stupid. Now I'm looking at it like, that's a great song.
It's brilliant.
Back then I was
How
like,
can you not like cheese?
They're not worried
Addy.
about what this great drum thing I'm doing right here, and they're worried about the cheese, And I'd be waiting at the door sometimes at shows, and, I listen, and people coming in, and they'd be like, is Big Way going to be here tonight? I'm like, oh, my God. So, at that time, I was really wanted to be known about the music, and it was more about the show. But now I know, coming from a marketing side of it, it would be a great show right now.
Right.
But you could only do it once in a while, because I can remember it was so explicit and so crazy, the things that happened, that I would have to give up my money if somebody got arrested.
Oh, God.
So we have to, and there was always police presence at all our shows, and stuff. It was pretty much just not for violence, but for the explicit stuff. I mean, they had big jumbotrons with porn going, and, you name it, dildos all over the stage, and it was just, and girls, we would give away prizes,
so
if they would show me their private
like a Miley
parts.
Cyrus.
But the funny thing about the prizes, a lot of times, we'd go on prize runs, on garbage night, and try to find things that we could just paint SIV on and give it away. And we'd purposely find these TVs that were broken. It wasn't like flat screens either. These were heavy freaking broken TVs. And we spray SIV. You just won an SIV TV, and we'd roll it in, and they'd be so happy. And, and the joke was, when you take it home, it don't work.
That's awesome.
Oh, the ideas they came up with.
How many
so
got
funny.
smashed?
I don't know.
Probably every.
Or they save them. There's a lot of people that I talk to every once in a while in passing. They go, I still got my SIV mirror, and it's usually a girl that's saying it, because why you got that mirror. But it was a good time back then. People could be a free spirit, go there and have fun. It wasn't really. I don't even know if they were really there for the music, and they were just for the show. We did a show one time at Coleman's SIV, The Wall, and we actually had all these boxes brought there, all different kinds, size boxes. We actually literally stacked them all up, filled the whole entire stage of Coleman's, and painted it all white, and painted SIV the wall on it, so it would be the wall, and we literally the first song we had empty spaces. We played empty spaces behind it, and then the idea was to kick the wall out, explode the wall, so when we come on stage, blow the wall out. Well, the idea was great, and I guess from the outside on video that I've seen, looks pretty cool, but the boxes, because there's mosh pits, and the boxes went into the freaking crowd, and they're flying everywhere as a box comes right back, blasts me in the head. So the idea sometimes is not as planned out. We never really obviously practiced it. We just said, this would be a great idea. Let's do it.
In hindsight.
Yeah, we would always find different ways to approach the stage. We'd always have a bagpiper, and he would, whenever you heard the bagpipes, you knew SIV was coming on stage, and he would come first. And we'd always find different ways to come on there. We'd sometimes ride bikes, and obviously you're not riding the bike because you can't get through a crowded mess with bikes, so that was the stupid part. We got horns on it. We're trying to get through. One time we had Scott Hayes there. We wrapped him in industrial paper, just wrapped him, looked like a big, huge human cigar, and just cut a little hole for his mouth, and we just carried him on the stage and propped him up, and and if you see the video, it's just this, looks like this big Philly blunt up there, and they put the mic right forward, and he sang like 2-3 songs just like that.
Just wrapped up.
Oh,
God almighty.
Just something things they come up with. My drums were always covered in makeup and paint and Cocoa Puffs and Fruit Loops and just so much crap. I'd always had to clean my drums the next day. It was always a mess. But, but it was a show.
But you had fun.
I guess I did. For 3 years.
There were a lot of mirrors handed out.
You ended up with
had
a lot
fun.
of diehard fans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
People that went to every show and they knew your sticks.
Yeah, funny story. The band I was in before I got the opportunity with SIV was huge fans of SIV, and this was a heavy band that I was in, and we were doing Slayer and Forbidden and a lot of a lot of progressive metal, and it was really, and originals, and it was Todd's brother that was singing in that band at the time, and they were all big SIV fans. Used to go all the time, and I used to be like, "What do you like that band for, man?" Because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't the Peppers, I didn't know about funk, or anything like that. I was just this progressive speed guru on Vibrant all the time, and so then one day I'm in Nicotera's and I'm walking out to leave, and there's and of course in SIV fashion, it's just handwritten. SIV needs drummer, and it's got little rip tickets, and I grabbed one. I have to talk about being a hypocrite, but I knew they were popular, and I was like, oh, what the hell, and I did the audition, and I got the job, and then I had to tell them, you're joining SIV? Yeah.
My brother's throwing up the horn saying forbidden.
Yeah. We used to do Through Eyes of Glass, I believe. Yeah, it was. We did a lot of great songs back then.
No One Foot in Hell.
Yeah, Violence we did. Violence, that band. Yeah. We did Testament.
Yeah.
Back.
What Testament song would you do?
I think we did just Into the Pit. I think it was just
great tune.
Yeah, from the New Order, and it was all that time, and South of Heaven was the popular Slayer album at that time. So I think we did Read Between the Lies on that one. So there was times in my life way back in the day, like playing at Coleman's, when we'd have one set and I'd be playing, and it'd be like the last song of the night. I'm like, oh my God, it's almost over. I used to get so sad. It's almost over.
Aww.
And now I've been doing it so much and playing for 3 hours. It's like you get to the last song, it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die.
It's gotta be rough on you and the singer. I mean, going with like Chuck.
Yeah.
Guys like Slayer.
Yeah. You got to pick your poison, and in Toast, even Bear's singing some songs. So we're doing this show. So and we're doing Rage Against the Machine, and Rage is pretty hard on the voice. And so we put it in places where maybe
he has a little rest.
So Bear's doing this song, then when we come out, bam, hit you with Rage Against the Machine, and Todd's ready to go. And because sometimes we used to always save Rage to the end because it didn't matter if you didn't have a voice at the end of the night. But we want to do more than one, so we want to put him through the night. And the tunings were really, Bear's great with tunings, and he wants to be legit to the song. So he's got 4 guitars because there's 4 different tunings in a lot of the music that we play. So we got, and that's another way we got the set up to these first 3 songs are in drop D, these songs are in E, these are in standard E. And so because a lot back in the 90s,
so he's not just changing.
They they drop their guitars way down, so really sludgy, you know. So you want to recreate that sound, you got to tune it accordingly, you know. And you don't want to take the time and do it in between songs. You want to grab that axe, ready to go.
If somebody throw it out to you.
Yeah,
Mega, where you at?
Yeah, Mega. Yeah, he'll be there. I know he'll be there. Yeah, he's excited to see.
Oh, he ain't gonna miss this. No way.
Yeah, he's excited, especially because he's been a supporter of myself and music. Period. You know, and I just never really played a lot of heavier stuff that he would like or enjoy. You know, but now finally, he will.
Oh yeah, he'll go.
I love Micah. He's such a good guy, isn't he?
Yep. He's
Is he gonna? You're gonna let him get up and play?
He's been asking me already. But we don't do AC/DC. So I said,
oh shit.
Then I'll do Judas Priest. We don't do Judas Priest.
No, he's gonna have to wait.
He's gonna have to wait. Yeah.
Or expand his skill.
Just like Omega, just take pictures because we really could use those.
Do you do any Pantera?
We don't in this band. You know, when I say strictly 90s, it's strictly Seattle scene. You know, anything that came out of that area. You know, so we're really trying to stay focused to that, or that came out at that time that was popular. You know.
I was going to say, because Pantera was still the 90s.
Single soundtrack, you know, all that. That was great music on that album, you know, stuff like that.
Cool.
You know, you got the Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, or Smashing Pumpkins, Soundgarden, you know.
I got to bring Emily to the show. My little one loves all
that.
Yeah,
definitely get her.
Unfortunately, half those guys are passed now.
I know. Isn't that terrible? That is horrible.
Yeah.
I know.
Eddie Vedder would be the one standing.
I know. I know.
Well, really, yeah.
I mean, the guy used to hang from rafters at shows and just drop into the crowd, and he always looked like he was out of his.
That's great that you were at that show, man. Because I saw it 3 times because it was so close. They don't do that anymore. Nobody. The same tour only comes to either Syracuse, Albany, Rochester, Buffalo. Only comes to one.
New
of
York
those places.
State once.
Yeah.
It's like the first show that I was allowed to go without my father. So it was my brother and I. We went to this show, and I tell people today, and they're like, "Come on, you seen Pearl Jam, Smashing Pumpkins, and the Chili Peppers in a theater?" I'm like, "Yeah," and they didn't know who Pearl Jam was at the time. And like I said, they just absolutely blew me away. Yeah. And then that summer is when they blew up.
I know.
That is also how I found out Magic Johnson had HIV, because Anthony Kiedis came up and dedicated the song Magic Johnson and announced that he had HIV, and I was like huge Celtics fan, so I'm like, holy crap.
Celtics did pretty good yesterday.
Man, I was pumped. Great game last night.
Yeah. But, so that was a great show. And like you said about they had their own following. I can remember, I don't remember which one because I saw it 3 times, but I can remember this huge mound of people in the front row. There was no seats. They were just all on top of the seats praising Pearl Jam. And I'm like, man, who is this band? You know, and I knew a couple of friends that were going. They were purposely going just to see Pearl Jam, you know, and I was going to see the Peppers because at that time it was SIV, you know, and so, I was familiar with them. Smashing Pumpkins, I was with Gish, and I don't know if Siamese Dream came out yet, but I know it was definitely soon.
It was close, yeah.
Yeah, you know, because I don't think Gish, they even toured. I mean, they had to have been Siamese Dream because they had to have some kind of hit.
Because I remember really seeing more Smashing Pumpkins that summer, too. That's when they kind of blew up as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Pearl Jam got on Lollapalooza, and then they just blew up after that. I miss Lollapalooza.
I know.
Great acts coming through.
Now, see, that's another band, too, we should jump on. I mean, and we used to do it back in the Toast days. We just haven't jumped on yet as Jane's Addiction. You know, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were big. We used to do Mountain Song.
I feel like they're a band that gets, forgotten about.
All the time.
I mean, you hear them constantly on the radio, but, when people talk about that scene back then, Jane's Addiction doesn't get mentioned a lot.
Yeah. They were, and I can, if I remember correctly, when I was, back in that day as well, you're right. It was only those few friends of mine that were diehard Jane's friends, and they would, and they would just, they would swear by, even Trevor, Todd's brother, big time Jane's fan, and it just took a little while to catch on to me, and then I understood why they liked him, but, there's so many different bands out there. You just got, that's the great thing about Google, it reminds you, 90s Seattle scene, and you Google it, and then you find, oh yeah, I remember that band, and
there's some bands that, came off as one-hit wonders. I'm a huge Cracker fan, but people only know the song Low, and they don't even know it by name. They're just like Being Stoned. Oh yeah, I know that song. But I have every single album they've ever put out, and I'm a huge fan, and that song kind of got me into them. But they launched in the 90s.
You got to have that hit.
Yeah, that one-hit wonder.
Screaming Trees.
Faith No More was another one of those bands.
Faith No More. I saw them for $7 on the Real Thing tour at Lost Horizon.
Wow.
Again, I say Trevor a lot because I hung out. I know the whole family, but he said, you got to come see this band, Faith No More. And I'm like, all right. So he took me to Lost Horizon. It was $7, and man, I was hooked after that. And then I saw him on the Angel Dust tour, and Helmet opened. That's another band from the 90s.
Oh yeah, Helmet.
Yeah. So Helmet and Faith No More, they were the great show.
Yep.
And but you're right. You just got to There, back when we were doing it and Toast was doing it, Floating Noah, there's a lot of bands that were all doing that. Floating Noah was doing, Filter, and stuff like that. You have to just be brave and just do it.
I haven't
And if
heard
you do it
Floating
well.
Noah in forever. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I think every once in a while they'll do something like a special show, like you're saying, like
Yep.
you guys are doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's definitely it'll be a reunion, but we're trying to just like do it once in a while.
No, it's gonna be
I try to do it once in a while, just so we can get our fix, of playing.
Yeah.
You'll get done. You'll be like, oh, we got to do that again.
I know.
In a couple.
They're
weeks,
gonna be hooked, and it's gonna be like every other week we're gonna be able to go see them.
Well, and like you said, because you're all professional now,
Right.
and you're not wasting time when you're practicing. You're actually doing what you need to do, and
Yeah.
you're getting it all out of your system. It's that moment you could take yourself out of your work life and get back into something you love and do.
It really is something that you love, because I find myself at rehearsal sometimes just getting in the moment of playing and remembering that, wow, I can do this. Because you forget, you don't do it all the time. I mean, I Monday through Saturday, I don't pick up a drumstick, I love drums and I love music, but until I get behind the kit, and then it reminds me that, God gave it to me. I never took a lesson in my life, and I was able to do some great things from just
And you're not
playing.
gigging to survive.
Yeah, it got to that point. Back in the day, I definitely really relied on the money, but I realized, especially with the way that the scene was changing, that you got to have another egg in the basket,
You need something stable. Paper.
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, when I stopped playing a year ago, I was starting to sell drums and equipment, because I have a lot of stuff over the years I've saved up, or I've gained all this gear over the years, and I just found it's like, I find it hard to part with, because they all have sentimental value and I like it all. It's all like there's something about each thing that I have that I don't really want
to
get
drag
rid of.
it all around too.
I know.
See, I would love to see I would love to hear some originals from you guys, because knowing some of the people in the band or whatnot, I feel like it would be some nice new fresh sound, and the fact that you're not really trying to do it for the money, you're just trying to do it for the art and the love of the music.
Yeah.
And
good things come from love.
right,
Better than,
you know what I'm saying? Your passion's into
yeah.
it. And you're not, like I said, you're not farting around, you're not getting trash. This guy's over here, drunk and stoned and puking in a bush. You got Todd. I mean, who's amazing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like you guys put out a really good record.
Yeah, and it would be nice to maybe tie into some of these multi-band bills and just play originals.
Mm.
Yeah,
It'd be really cool.
You never know. Maybe you'll get there.
Well, Jason Clifford. We need our music, because we don't have it. We forgot how it goes.
Somebody find Jason. Get those things copied.
Yes, because he's got all our stuff, and
That'd be awesome.
I've come up with a few things, but it was later years. Toast had a lot of different forms as it went on, and as the years went on and the partying got more intense,
right.
I ended up moving on past it, and ended up doing Rattle Basket after that, but and I'm glad I did, because if it wasn't for Rattle Basket, I wouldn't have been able to play Woodstock,
Right.
So I had an opportunity to do that would never have came if I was still in Toast.
Is that part of the Infernal tour?
Oh, yeah, really. God, everywhere I go, places burn down.
I know, shit.
Son of a bitch.
Damn it, But that was for. In fact, it was Bear, who's in Toast now. At that time, when I was in Rattle Basket, we had the opportunity to play at Woodstock. We were putting the bomb together at that time. So it was actually Shane. How you doing, Shane? From Red Hush.
Mm-hmm.
He was singing. And Danny Mahoney. How you doing, Dan? Playing bass, who's still in the bomb. And Bear and Jim Crosway. And we were putting together some songs. Had some great stuff. Great. Super Unknown we used to do from Soundgarden. But, it was great because we had them pipes, and stuff. So we were, that was the beginnings. It wasn't even called the bomb back then, but it was the beginning stages of what could have been the bomb. And then I told Bear, I said, I got to rehearse this whole month because I'm going to be playing Woodstock. I go, our show's got to be dead nut, on that stage. So, and then Bear is just very meticulous and very professional. And he's like, all right, well, then we're going to have to find somebody else, because he wanted to get that band off the ground.
Right.
And it was funny. It was our singer, Teresa, in Rattlebasket that actually gave them the name The Bomb. She goes, "You guys are The Bomb. You should call that your name," you know. So it's a little tie-in stories here that,
That's funny.
well, people became who they were, you know. And
Yeah.
Todd was the singer of The Bomb for a while before Mike. So it was Shane, Todd, and then Mike, who we know now is the singer of The Bomb.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little
Turn
history
of
here.
events, yeah. This is really cool. It's
I
like
didn't know Todd was in the Bomb.
Yeah. He
the
was
history of the music scene in
I like
Utica
that.
market.
What else you got for us?
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
don't
scoop
know.
us on something
I
else.
don't know, man. You're triggering these thoughts. So, you know, I mean, but I just, you know, back then, like I said, you were really personal. Like, I mean, you think about Gridley Page. I mean, they were Ulterior Motive, and they were Culper before that. It's still the same band, but
Right.
and I can remember when they were Ulterior Motive, and they got forced to change their name because of some kind of legal thing. So they had to change their name. They made it to Gridley Page. You know, we were all thinking, geez, God, people are gonna know who they are. But you know, with the right marketing, you know, it didn't really have a hiccup. You know, you still were able to continue. You know, and of course, we know Nine Ball had a lot of different forms and changes and stuff.
9 Stories High.
9 Stories High, yeah. They had a lot of different forms. You know, but
Then he did the Joe Mama and the Funk Daddies for a long time.
yeah.
And now he's back to 9 Ball.
Yeah.
I think he's done a little bit of both too.
Yeah.
Which you must have to. Like when people said Joe Sweet's doing rock music, like, bro, yeah, Joe Sweet does rock music. Trust me.
Yeah, Joe can rock.
Yeah, that's where his roots came from. You know, I mean, all the other things that he's doing now are just evolving. You know,
Right.
and what you become afterwards. I mean, because Jason, we're talking about Jason a lot here. He makes fun of me all the time because I'll post music on Facebook that's just really not to his liking at all. You know, and then I'll post something that really, really likes, and then he chimes right in. You know, and it's like, but you gotta. I'm in moods for different music. You know, I got a really nice stereo at home that I love to just crank and blow the windows out, and sometimes it's something very mellow. You know, like Nickel Creek. You know, or something that's really heavy. You know, like Sanctuary. You know, I mean,
Sanctuary, great band.
I saw them twice on.
Did you?
Yeah, I saw them. They were with Testament and Violence at Lost Horizon. Then I saw them with Megadeth, another tour. Yeah, they were great.
He just died, didn't he? The lead
Yes,
singer.
the lead singer.
Yeah.
Another
man,
thing
that
on
guy
social
had
media, you get to
some
find this stuff out, you know.
His version of White Rabbit is amazing.
Oh my! I was just cranking the other day. I almost wanted to post it on Facebook because it just hit me. I was like, man, what a
The way
great
he
song.
sings and the range this guy has, it's amazing.
That whole record, that's Queensryche, man. That's when Queensryche, you know, I mean, that's their roots has to be because I mean they're a heavier Queensryche. You know?
Yeah, kind of. Now that you put it that way,
If you listen to some of that, it almost reminds you of back in the Warning album of Queensryche. You know, it's got a lot of that. I mean, I'm a big Queensryche fan too. You know, I've saw them numerous times. You know, I mean, but
I seen Queensryche one time, but I left the show to go have sex.
well,
I went there for Typo Negative, and I was
And
like,
sex.
let's go have.
So that was at Weed Sport.
Yeah, it was.
I was at that show. Yeah, Typo
was that part
Negative.
of it?
We do Typo Negative, and in fact, that's one of the few songs that Steve actually sings because it's just got that deep.
R.I.P.
voice.
Peter Steele.
That deep voice where it's melting girls' clothing as he speaks. You know, Todd. You know, says, yeah, you've got that one. You know, but we're doing other things because a lot of Typo Negative's got a lot of eerie, creepy things going on and stuff. So we're trying to incorporate a lot of that stuff in it.
I feel like back then he was like the metal sex symbol. Like every guy, I mean, he's like 6'5", jacked, and just like
And pose for Playgirl.
And pose for Playgirl.
Yeah. So he didn't do that for no reason.
And according to Rain Man, he had a wiffle ball bat in his legs.
Oh,
He could have gave Tommy Lee a run for his money.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, he had that deep voice. And then when I seen him it was about 4 months before he passed, I seen him. I'm like, man, this guy's just like a shell of himself.
Really.
Hunched down shoulders, just like really kind of like looked terrible.
I saw them at Lost Horizon. They were great.
And I said, I did too. I remember saying to my friend, I'm like, man, he looked like he died and nobody told him. And then 4 months later, he passed. I was like, well.
Was he sick?
Yeah. I can't remember what happened. I forgot how he died. I think cancer, overdose. I don't know. Who knows?
Sad.
But
yeah, it's sad.
I seen him with Pantera at the Odd as well.
Saw that show too.
It was a great show.
Marilyn Manson. I mean, Toast used to do a lot of Marilyn Manson back in the day, but you know, I mean, you know, again, that Toast was a lot different than what this Toast is. This one is going to be like pretty much if you went back to the 90s and that was the band that was playing at the Dude Trip or Shakers, you know, or the Route 5 tour, you know.
See, and that's what I'm excited about. You know, because I miss it. It's like, you know, there's good stuff out now, but it's like the hard rock and just party band.
Yeah,
you know?
well, and Toast would always change with the times, so whenever, so we were always adding new music to our library because we were playing all the time, so that's why we did start venturing away from that, because
Right.
when the band started, it was 91, 92, I believe, so if you take yourself, and that's the kind of music that was popular back then, in fact, when I can remember numerous times playing songs from Smashing Pumpkins or stuff like that, and people thought they were our originals, they didn't know those bands back then yet. So they...
Yeah, because when the Dew Trip burned down in, 92 or 93?
That's about right, about the right time, yeah.
Well.
Yeah. And in fact, what the heck, with Nothing Fancy?
Nothing Fancy, yep. They used to do a lot of shows there.
No, who am I thinking of? What was that?
Tombstone?
No, because what's her name? Nancy, who owned the Dew Trip, she opened up another bar. We played there too once she finally got, but then she got out of it again. I know Nancy's Hinkley Hotel.
Oh yeah, the
Some
Hinkley
wild
Hotel.
times up there. Then she let you stay upstairs.
What a dive!
Oh my God!
Holy Christ, that place was a shithole.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it stood.
I know, but you had the Valley.
But it was a great place.
You had places to play in
was a great
Brownies,
place
Glory
to go.
Days.
Yeah.
Well, it would be Rendy's, I think, before it was Glory Days.
Was it Nadine's?
Was it?
Nadine's? Was it
Nadine's. I remember that too. Of course, we had the Varsity Club. We played there. It was way up off going to Little Falls there on the right. Big, huge, long bar. There's just nothing. We got Herkimer has just Silverado, which is a great club.
Mm-hmm.
Big, and that's it for the Valley. And
I mean, even in Valley, you still had McGill's. It's borderline Valley. It's like before you get into the Valley.
Close enough.
I just saw Mark Rennie the other day. I purposely went up there again. Marketing works. Good job, Mark, with the pictures of his Riggies.
The food truck, yeah.
Yeah, I went up there and oh my God, I had Riggies for 3 days. That's the only thing. You got to make sure you're going to feed a family because you're going to have them in your fridge for a while.
Yeah.
But they were awesome, But
he's been known for his Riggies for many, many years.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh definitely.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But we played. Mark always gave me an opportunity. Whether it was Toast, and then it was. Well, then after that it was Gridley. I played with Gridley for a while, but then because I played with Gridley and he and we had the two bands prior, then when Dashmore Nixon came out, he trusted us and gave us decent cash and to play there. But again, like I said, new band was and way out there, and the scene wasn't the same as it was. We never we had to build it still, But it's a lot of these bar owners, you work with them long enough and you give them good product and you're very professional. When you got your next project they're coming on, they give you a chance.
And if they know what they're doing, they'll put you in with somebody that's going to draw. If they feel like you play well and they like what you do, they're going to hook you up with somebody that's going to draw in. So people start playing with, listen to your stuff more.
That's wicked. That's very smart, to do that, right. Because they know that you're going to give good product no matter what you do. So if they could just at least let their clientele know what you got, when they get you on your own night, they're going to have a good night.
You gotta get that band the familiarity so that way you got another band to book. What I mean? That it's going to draw people in.
Yeah.
You got more fish to choose out of the pond.
Exactly. And
Todd says Castbridge.
We did New Year's Eve there with Todd. It must have been 92 because my son was born on 93 that next day. Yeah, so I remember coming home and my son's mother says, we got to go to the hospital. So in my clothes from the gig, went to the hospital, and I can remember just eating a bag of Munchos, and all of a sudden she went into labor, and they had to bring the machines in, and my son was born right in front of me as I ate the bag of Munchos.
Nice.
But, they didn't, and I see these things on TV where everyone's covered in smocks, and they got the mask on. I'm like, that wasn't me. I was still
sweaty from
from the gig from the night before on New Year's, yeah.
Muncho crumbs.
Yeah, it wasn't a great environment to have childbirth right in front of you, but it was quite amazing.
Back then, you could smoke in the bars.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. You come out and just reek like cigarettes.
Oh, I'm so glad when they made that law. I mean, I don't smoke, so I guess it's catch-22. I'm glad for two reasons.
But even hearing smokers are happy about that. I mean, they're not happy when out there freezing, but you don't smell like cigarettes, man. I used to come out of the bar and you just reek.
Yeah, it was bad. Oh,
we got a
close.
Charles the Beast checking. He says, "I'm back, guys. What's happening?" Hi, Charles. Thanks for checking in, bro.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
We are here with Pat Orlowski from the band Toast, who is doing the reunion. Do you guys have like a website, Facebook?
We're on Facebook. Yep, just Toast. It's pretty easy. Yeah, we got that. I can't believe we got that. Nobody didn't get that yet, But yeah, because if you Google Toast, I mean, there's going to be a million
everything.
of them. Yeah, but on Facebook, it's just Toast. And we are playing Friday, June 1st at Lucan's.
10 p.m.-ish.
10 p.m.-ish, yes. So don't get too crazy on Thursday, because it will be the Friday after a Saranac Thursday, and we all know how those are. But we're,
Thank God you're here.
Plus, I had to fix that camera. No, it's great because I got to go to the bathroom.
Hi, Todd.
What's up?
How are you? So you got sick of sending one-word messages?
Exactly. I did that.
Did you turn your mic on from the car?
I did.
Okay. He turned his mic on from the
I
car.
didn't turn it on. It's yellow. I'm yellow. What's going on?
Hey.
What's up?
Good
You
to
guys
see
are doing
you.
a good job. I like it.
We're
I'm
pretty
impressed.
excited about this show, June 1st.
I get that.
So wait, who's moving the mouse now?
Yeah, it's my dog.
As you say, you got a dog doing it?
I've trained the dog how to run the show.
Thank God. He can't do a worse job than us.
Still does a better job than Chikn.
We got Dave checking. He goes, had to finish the Tribe gig, but it's interesting seeing that the new Disruption Network sitcom, Chikn in Charge.
Who was that?
I'm never in charge, bro. Dave Bandage.
Oh, Bandage.
I haven't. How do you like my chicken hat?
Nice.
He's a chick
Nice.
in the hat.
Chicken in a hat. Is
I'm a chicken hat.
that anything like a
This
chicken
is my
hawk?
chicken outfit.
So, Todd, you excited about this show, man?
I'm pumped about the show. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast.
It really is. I think there's going to be a lot of people.
I hope so.
I think there's going to be a lot of people that
What's going on?
from the Do Trip days.
I want to see you dress
you know?
I want you to dress up as Rob Halford.
I heard that. I was trying to pull up the picture of me. That was actually the bomb when I sang with the bomb for the Pinhead picture. When I played that, yeah.
Yeah,
that was when I was in the bomb.
Music history, and they didn't know that you played
No.
Yeah,
I
everybody
had no
forgets
idea.
the original.
Yeah, everybody forgets that one, but I don't even remember how long I was in there, but
Yeah, I saw the picture and I'm like,
I found videos.
it's Todd with hair. Oh my God, look, babe. And we were just laughing. I'm like, oh my God, it's so funny. Love it.
How'd you guys come with the name Toast?
Okay, so I don't know. It was there before, and then Pat tweaked it.
Yeah.
We were a band called Burnt Toast before Pat joined us, and we were playing all like classic rock. And
That's right.
And there's a really, and I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. So we were Burnt Toast. We got in it. We brought Pat in, and Pat's like, "It's got to be one word, just toast." So we dropped the burnt, and we were Toast. It was all him. So that's where Toast came from.
Excellent. Like Madonna.
It was originally
Cher.
Dan Guile playing bass. We should just be something like Burnt Toast, and that's where that came from. So
We went with the food theme, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Pearl Jam,
yeah,
Smashing
I don't know
Pumpkins.
if it had anything to do with that.
No.
Dan was a pretty crazy guy. So
Yeah.
he just came with it up off the top of his head, and we stuck, and Pat tweaked it. So
Yeah, well, I mean, and we did that first battle of the bands.
Yeah.
They had it already booked, and they didn't have the drummer, and then they got me in, and yeah. Well, it was coincidentally at the time when he had the show booked.
oh yeah,
You already had it. You had it because that was when Lily's used to do the battle of the bands there, Kaliako's event there,
Mm-hmm.
and which were great, by the way. And
Victor Lyle was one of the judges, wasn't he? Remember Victor?
yeah,
Yeah, Tour Man.
That's right.
Monkey Poppin' Flip Boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had to revamp your show because we were going to go with a different route. So that's when we picked Pearl Jam and Nirvana, and we picked 5 songs and
Thank God.
went there and we got second place. We got second place, but we were only together a month, I think.
Who won?
SIV, believe it or not.
Ah.
SIV, yeah.
Were you double billing?
No, I was done with that. Was when Toast was the first band after SIV, and but then again, Toast was brand new and SIV was really popular. So for us to get second place, that was pretty accomplishment. That was a good accomplishment.
Yeah,
I thought anyway.
Pulled it all together out of
Yeah, but it was we just picked the right songs, I think, and played them really well that night.
I remember them. I remember 9 Ball Joe. Those guys kicked it too.
Red Hush played that night.
Did Red Hush?
Yeah, Red Hush, because I remember they had to leave and do a gig at
That's right.
Coleman's or something, so they played their set. And
Was the band Pinch there?
remember Pinch? I know who's the guitar player.
There was Eli.
Well, Eli.
Eli Rivera.
Eli, I played with Eli with Sugar Daddy.
Dave, Heinrich was on drums.
I'm thinking of Seamus, was the singer.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking
And there's
of. Yeah.
Dave Lingoff.
Lingoff, well, he was part of Sugar Daddy, too.
Oh, yeah, the Sugar Daddies, yep.
That's how we got the Tony Maggiolino connection, who still has my SIV demo.
Calling you
He
out.
wants that back.
Come on, Tony. God.
He needs to use that tape for something.
Well, we're in bands together over these years, and then there were fans of SIV as well, and then I had this. Oh, can you let me borrow that one to make
What
a
was
copy?
the name of the band that Palek and Dave St. Ange did?
Oh,
They
that
used
was
to open up for us
was that
all
like
the time.
Lifted or Uplifted or
No, it
what the
wasn't.
hell?
It was great. They were doing like what was it?
House of Pain.
House of Pain.
Yeah,
Oh, it was crazy.
yeah, they were good. Dave St. Ange, yeah, he was our agent for a long time. Yeah, he was our manager. He used to come to the shows with a top hat on and
They
Sing
used
with
to
Brass
open up
Knuckle
and
and
the whole
Z's band.
crowd
Brass
would-
Knuckle. Yeah, that's another good band.
The crowd would get up on the stage and trample all our stuff before our show, and then we'd have to go back up there and set it all up.
Yeah,
It was great.
yeah,
It was good times, though. It was good times.
yeah. It's amazing,
And
But-
you're going to do it all again.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun though.
Yeah, this is
It's gonna
For
be
the
a
best
show.
version
It's
of
gonna
it.
be a production, like Pat was saying.
Yeah.
I've done a lot. I've got a lot more. I'm getting keyboards now and doing a lot more sampling and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So,
Yeah.
not just standing there. I need something to hold me up.
Right, right.
I didn't want
Right.
to bring a walker up, so I figured, I'll just use a keyboard.
Well, yeah, originally started because Bear and Mark, they have keyboards and stuff that they, wanted to incorporate, and they
Right.
had these ideas, and they were great ideas, and Todd just went the next level and said,
Of course he
I'm going to get this,
did. Of course.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the real,
Around here knows
Yeah.
that. Look at all that shit over there.
We're
I'm gonna
shocked.
do it the right way. They had the great idea, which we could have pulled off, but I'm going to do it the right way. And and I'm triggering stuff. Todd's triggering stuff. And we got a lot of different ideas that are going to kind of keep the show flowing. It's not going to be, we don't want you to not to think about having to go get another drink. But you're going to have to because
Right.
the bar's not going to want us to play there, and if nobody drinks,
Yeah,
True.
I think it's going to be a show. It's going to be an experience. It's not just going to be the music. There's a whole big show.
Yeah. It sounds like you have a whole arc planned. The whole,
We're
just.
not playing it by ear. That's
Yeah. I
No.
mean, which is.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's going to be choreographed. All
Todd, I think we know you overdo things. Monday, these guys were out on a meeting, so I had to do my show by myself. So I'm like, okay, all the way over here, I'm psyching myself up. I'm like, I can do this. I'll just call Todd, and he'll tell me what buttons to push. I've got this. I walk in, and he's like, okay, I've got you all set. Just sit where you normally sit. I'll do this all from home. And I'm like...
You don't have to worry about nothing.
I know. I'm like from where were we? Oneida Street. I'm like psyching myself out. I'm all like, okay, all right. I'm not gonna fuck this up. I'm gonna make sure it's good and it's. Yeah, and he just does it from home, and I'm like,
yeah.
Well, he turned the cameras on today. Like, son of a bitch, I forgot the goddamn camera.
thank God.
No, it's good to be a perfectionist, and he is. I mean, the other day at practice, we're playing a song, and he's taking pictures of his prompter, and I'm like. So I had to ask him, because I didn't know what the heck he was doing. I'm like, why are you taking pictures of your prompter? And he goes, just little cues things I got to fix. And I'm like, so smart. It's so
Something to
smart.
remember.
Technology, working with technology.
Yeah.
Notepad.
I know, but it's a great way to be,
Yeah.
And then, he makes out the set list, and we were changing them all the time, and then he brings them in. I'm like, oh, no, this one's got to be changed. So I'll go around with the marker, and I'll change it around, make sure everyone's got the updated list. And then he knows to make it more updated next time he comes to practice. But it's a way of being organized so everything flows,
Yeah.
And
It's a team effort.
It's a good dynamic.
Yeah.
Everybody gets along really well.
yeah, they're all
And
guys.
that's
They're brothers
important.
too, which is kind of neat, and they've done it forever. I could be a little
Right.
kid going to see Elvis and Tori, but I mean, it's cool playing with those guys, it really is.
Is there any local bands now that like you really go out there and support right now? Like, who do you think is gonna be that next Toad?
Well, it would have to be the original music, because obviously the cover stuff, none of it's really what I like or my forte or whatever. I'm the B-side guy. I don't really. There's not much music on the radio that I like.
But
So I'd have to support.
I mean, locally.
Let's see, who have I not played with?
Last Left
Yes,
and Showtime.
Last
I
Left.
think those are the only two bands you haven't played with.
Yes. Last Left. They're the up and coming band.
They're good kids.
Yes. Yep.
I like
Yep. They work hard. They're very professional. Their father does a great job. With the organization and keeping them.
I really do like them. I remember the first time I saw them at the Harp. They were jammed in the corner there, but they were really good.
Yeah, no, they came out just, really strictly being a certain kind of like dance pop type of band and stuck with that, dress really the part,
Yeah. They're cute. They're adorable.
We talked about, what to wear and stuff, You have to think about that sometimes,
How many costume changes do you guys have?
Well, now I got to work on a Rob Halford costume apparently.
For the Halloween show.
Yeah, for the
Halloween show.
Do some like painkiller.
There you go.
I would love that.
I can see with the spiked junk package there. What do they call it?
Spiked jock strap.
Is that a cod piece?
Yeah.
Oh God Almighty!
Oh man,
my!
Oh Jesus! This just turned into a whole other show.
Todd, where the hell you been the last 2 hours?
Sitting at home working. I
know.
What did I walk into here?
Todd was like, "They're having all the fun. The hell with this."
There's been times, I forgot what show it was, but Todd texted me, he's like, what the hell show am I listening to right now?
Yeah.
You don't want to know, bro. You don't want to know.
It started out one show, it ended up somewhere else.
That happens a lot. But I do want to give a little shout out to some of our sponsors here. Stop down to the showroom at 5046 Commercial Drive, Yorkville, New York. See why it's easy to do business with Steep Volkswagen at steepvolkswagen.net. And we got something cool coming up with Steep Volkswagen.
Yeah, we're gonna do.
I want to talk about
fun.
it, but we can't. But we had a little fun over at Steep Volkswagen right now.
Hush.
Also, for legal help, quick, you better call Nick. Call Nick Pasalacqua and team at Pasalacqua and Associates, 315-500-NICK, or cnytriallaw.com. Wow. He does way better than I do.
Oh, it's good. You're doing good. I'm surprised you remember to do it.
I want to thank Genesee Paint Company for giving Pat a couple of hours off today so he can come in and visit with us. That was awesome.
Go get your auto body complete supply store and house.
Yeah. And they have, oh my God, I love, like for when I walk into a house and it's like dog odor or something hits you in the face. They have this odor.
Say dog odor? Oh.
Dog, like it smells like wet dog or something. It'll knock you right over. They have this spray that's like ridiculous. What the hell is the name of that stuff?
I
don't know. Just go and tell them you want the
very
vanilla
concentrated
stuff.
and it works great.
It really does. It's phenomenal. So go to Genesee
Paint.
Paint.
Dog odor. Yeah.
It kills. It kills anything.
And
smoke odor.
For all your photography needs.
Yes.
Yes. Plug yourself.
Come find me. The Click Photography.
Yeah, Pat, you did my daughter and I did half my age and twice as beautiful pictures, and Pat took them.
Yeah, that's the first
and then
time
they
I
did
met
the
your daughter,
wedding.
and
I
it
was
came out
just
nice.
you're just brilliant.
You have a website?
The Click Photography. It's a Whitesboro address on Facebook.
Nice. And once again, for a good quality home inspection, it's priceless. Call Josh Amodio at 315-525-8725 for your next home inspection. In-depth and detailed reports, thorough inspections, and pays attention to details. Josh has been in the construction business his whole life and knows the importance of a good quality home inspection. Call Josh before you put your home on the market, looking to buy a home, or if you just want to update your home. Josh can do it all for you. Call him today at 315-525-8725.
Josh is,
I hate doing those.
Rigid at all.
Josh is the man. Josh is the sake king.
Josh is awesome.
I've been at many birthday parties at Hibachi, and he's the king of sake.
Oh, the sake.
He's
the sake
He's also
king.
a 46er. He climbed all 46 of the high peaks.
Yeah.
Had a Utica club at every single one of them.
He is a monkey.
The same Utica club he took up on all 46 peaks.
It must have been warm.
And drank it on the last one. That can saved his life. He slipped. Something gave out under him and he slipped, and that Utica club was in his backpack and got caught between two trees holding him up from...
Get out.
No, I kid you not.
Wow.
Did you see the can when he was done with it? It was
by a Utica club.
Right. That can was beat to
Always have
hell
one with you.
when he was done with
saved
it.
Me.
But he drank it, and it tasted just as fresh as if it was brewed that day. He said.
Wow.
Yeah, it went to every peak with him.
I did not know that. Wow, that's interesting stuff.
Go UC.
Man, next time he comes down here, we're going to have to call him out on that.
Yeah.
But one thing about Josh, too, I do love is when it comes to donating and events and stuff, he's the first person out there to donate. He won't say it himself because he's that type of guy.
Yeah.
But you know what? I want to say it for him. This guy, every time there's an event, Addy's Angels, he came down, donated. The
veterans needed, they had an alley that they wanted to do some paving and planting in, and he actually took a day off, went down there, donated all the materials, all the paint, stone and stuff. And not many people know that he did that, but he did.
And you know what? It needs to be known because this is a guy for the community, in the community. And, you know, shout out to you, Josh. He's also a friend. So
yeah.
Indeed.
Dave Borges says, Patrick, contact.
My man.
I thought Dave was stopping down today. He missed it.
I know. He took his post literally. Love you, Dave.
Yeah, so, I mean, we guys want to give it a little shout out again to the date, time, venue?
Toast, reunion, Lukens.
Plug the show.
Plug the show?
Plug the show. I said it too much. Well, you heard my voice do it too many times.
all day. You've been sitting at home.
I think you should.
And I haven't been working?
Todd, you should sing it. You should sing it.
No. June 1st, Lukens. That's a Friday, right? That's a Friday.
Right.
See, I remember this time. I forgot the other day. Figured you were going to kill me, too. We were live. I forgot. But June 1st, Lukens. Be there.
10 p.m.-ish.
Yes, ish.
10 p.m.-ish.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. It's going to be
You guys
fun.
will have
looking
your
forward to it.
coordinated outfits on.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the pizza.
Always looking forward
They do have great pizza there.
But as you said, you're going to put on a show. It's not just going to be regular. You're seeing a band. You're going to actually put on a production here. And if I know Todd, it's going to be pretty freaking good, man.
Yeah, well, you know, that was the main concern. Besides the strength of the music, we wanted the show to be just as strong.
And as soon as you think you got everything set, Todd will change it all up on you.
Pat'll kill him. That's a fight I'd like to see.
Todd's he's pretty. We're all pretty much handling our own part of the band. You know, I got the drum thing covered. Garrett Bear's doing his thing. Mark, we all take full responsibility in our own position, and we don't. You know, we help each other out, but at the same time, we all know that we're responsible for
there's
ourselves.
There's respect, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's not like any one of you is a rookie
on the same
either.
Page, you know. I mean,
you've all been at it a little while.
Yeah. Well, like he was saying earlier in the interview about the Faith No More, I was like, well, we just for some reason didn't get into the set. We want to do it. I know.
I want a special request added to it.
I know. Well, I guess
practice this.
I mean, it's another band.
I didn't tell you that until now.
25 years without playing.
Well, it's going to be there.
It'll be there.
It'll be there. Just not
didn't get
June 1st.
For whatever reason.
All right.
For the second show.
Well,
something to look forward to.
Exactly.
You can't give us everything all on the first show.
All right, but I want Rob Halford.
The Halloween show.
The Halloween show.
The Halloween show.
At the gig. Mike.
Yeah,
hint.
at the gig.
Mike. If you're hearing Mike, Halloween show. Hint.
I think he's putting something out there for you.
Mike Schmidt at the casino or at the gig, Turning Stone. Great guy.
Subliminal message.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. From Todd, Pat, from Toast, Addy. Apparently I've been fired. So
what can I say?
You did a good job. You did a good job. I'm very proud of you.
Better.
Other than the camera thing.
The camera. There's probably a couple other mix-ups here we won't talk about. Tomorrow we have Laura coming in from Oh Babies.
Yeah.
She's got a couple things going on. We got a little.
There's
bit of
an exciting event coming up.
Got a cool little event that we came up with.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna spill a little bit. The Grub and Grab.
Yeah, but you're not gonna know anything else about it until you tune in tomorrow.
Right.
That's it.
You'll
That's
find
all
all
you
about
get.
it tomorrow.
The Grub and Gab.
The Grub and Gab. I'm already screwing it up.
Grub and Grab is a whole other thing. And that's like kind of a private thing.
More of a Trump rally. All right, I better get out of here. We'll talk to you guys. See you.
Bye.
Take care.
Now turn off the cameras.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when 3 top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
When it's your hard-earned money on the line that you are investing into a home, it makes sense to choose a proven professional to assist you in making one of the biggest investments you may ever make. Josh's dedication of over 20 years to the home construction industry allows him to bring knowledge and experience to your doorstep. That means you can feel confident and comfortable with his service to you. Past clients love his attention to detail and thorough written reports. By allowing Priceless Inspections to help you make a well-informed decision concerning your property, you will find that a quality inspection is priceless. Follow Priceless Inspections on Facebook or call 315-525-8725.
Hi, this is attorney Nick Passalacqua. The team of attorneys I have assembled at Passalacqua & Associates has been carefully hand-picked to include the best trial attorneys in the particular areas of the law that we practice. Have you been charged with DWI or any other crime? Members of our team include former assistant district attorneys, now fighting to protect your rights 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have you or someone you love been seriously injured in a motor vehicle accident? Members of the team at Passalacqua & Associates include former insurance defense attorneys, now fighting to ensure that you get every penny you're entitled to. If you need legal help quick, don't waste your time or money calling anyone else. Remember, for legal help quick, you better call Nick and the team at Passalacqua & Associates, 315-500-NICK or 315-500-6425, or visit cnytriallaw.com today.